Presented by game trainer Steve Colley and Casey Bell. And athletic trainer for the Blues is Ricky Powell. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's national anthem is being performed by a father and daughter duo, Steve and Ashley, who represent the Central Coast Follies. They sing around the coast and bring joy to people for many events. We would ask this time that you would please rise and kindly remove your hats.
And with that, we are pleased to welcome you to Blues Baseball, Game 25 of the San Luis Obispo Blues 75th anniversary season in this 2021 summer. It's the Blues and Oaks for the third time this year. Hi again, everybody. I'm Zach Ibrahim here in the press box in Shimer Stadium in SLO on a scorching 88-degree day. It is a perfect day for baseball yet again. Bit toasty, but everyone in attendance happy to watch the Blues take on the Oaks. It's two games that have not disappointed between these two teams. The Blues winning both, each by one run. And if you were with us last night, if you weren't, you missed a good one. Blues won 7-6 in walk-off fashion for the second time this year, winning another close, magical ball game at home, 7-6 over the Orange County Riptide, defeating them for the first time all season. And they welcome in an Oaks team that is 10-7, coming off of an 8-1 win against the Academy Barons. They are 6-6 in conference, fourth in the South currently. Blues are 8-4 and stand at first place in the CCL South. Of course, 18-6 coming into play today, coming off of their 7-6 victory last night. On the mound for the Blues will be Kyle Wish, right-hander, making his second start. He's been an excellent reliever, and in his only start this season, went 5 full, only giving up the one hit, and Kyle was outstanding. He'll get the start today against an Oaks lineup that looks like this. Grant Smith leads off and plays shortstop. Brendan Bobo, who we've seen in both matchups play first base, will play third. Brendan Durfee is the DH batting third. TJ Foreman batting cleanup and playing right field. Raul Sandoval, the center fielder. Austin Carrillo, the left fielder. Cody Sulak bats seventh and plays second base. Robert Capozzi, he'll play first base today. And Caden Suji will do the catching with Chris Torres on the mound, facing a Blues team that had to rally late last night and came up with the one-run victory. Wish will face Grant Smith to lead things off here. It's July 9th. We're at Sinsheimer. It's a nice toasty day, and we're happy to have you along with us. Here's Grant Smith to lead things off. Oaks and Blues for the second time this year. Wish making his second start. Couldn't have been better in his first. 5 full, only giving up one hit. That was actually against the Oaks. So both starts this season for Kyle coming against the Conejo Oaks. It was the first meeting against Conejo back on July 2nd. First pitches were underway is fouled off against Smith for strike one. Wish brings his ERA of .60 into play. This is his 7th appearance, second start. He's got a save under his belt and 15 full innings pitched. He's only walked 2 and given up 7 hits all year. only one earned run to his credit as well. He's been outstanding. Right-hander out of USC. Here's an 0-1 to Smith. That's bounced to the plate. Count even at 1-1. AJ Esperanza's doing the catching today. He'll work through the signs with Kyle. The two guided the Blues to a win back on the second against the Oaks, 5-4. Kyle was amazing on the mound, and AJ was amazing in the clutch. 2-run go-ahead homer in the bottom of the eighth. That would be the winning margin. 1-1 is sent out to left, and a base hit to start things out for Grant Smith and the Oaks. And he's safe at first with a single.
Right there for Grant Smith, just staying down, shooting one, full power into left field.
We are just underway at Sinsheimer Park, and on the third pitch of this ball game, Grant Smith singles to left. He's safe at first base, bringing Brendan Bobo to the plate. That's with one man on and no out. No score. Top of the first, Blues and Oaks for the third time this year. Wish stands in and deals the first pitch to Bobo, who sends one out to right center, ranging back. It'll drop against the wall and roll there. Smith is rounding third and going to be held there. Bobo is safe at second with a double. Runners quickly on second and third for the Oaks. Still no outs in the top of the first. Bobo on the first pitch he sees from Wish today. Doubles to right center, and quickly the Oaks are in business with men on second and third. No outs top of the first, and Brendan Durfee to the plate. The DH batting third. Durfee will bring his average of 188 into play and try to add to his RBI total that stands at 6 this season. First pitch from Wish to him is in there for strike one. Oaks trying to give their starter, Chris Torres, a cushion early. Wish trying to strand 2 runners in scoring position. He's going to have to get 3 consecutive outs to do so. It's Smith at third. He was held as Bobo doubled to right center. Here's an 0-1. That one's low for ball one. So Wish has already given up 2 hits, single and a double. We mentioned only the 1 run given up all season by Kyle. That was an earned one coming back in late June against the Arroyo Seco Saints in Pasadena. And here's a 1-1 to Durfee. Bounces away, and Esperanza has to dig it out of the dirt. Count is now 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Wish dealing to Durfee. We did not see Brendan in the first matchup. We haven't seen him in either matchup against the Oaks. Against the Blues, excuse me. This is his first at-bat against SLO. 2-1. He sends one out to left. That's a looping drive that is caught, and tagging from third is Smith. He will score on the sac fly. It's 1-0 Oaks here early. Sac fly from Durfee is the first out, and his 7th RBI. Oaks lead 1-0. Caught by Burton, who's playing left field today, and tagging and scoring from third was Grant Smith. Bobo is still at second base. It's a sac fly and an RBI for Durfee, and TJ Foreman will step to the plate. Oaks already ahead, 1-0. It's the second earned run this season for Kyle Wish. Oaks out of the gate quick with a single and a double, leading 1-0. Top of the first. 1 out, runner on second. Wish deals to Foreman. That one's grounded to Clarkson at first. He'll take it to the bag unassisted for the second out. In the process, Bobo advances from second to third. There's now 2 away. Oaks coming off of a win. It was a comfortable one. They won by 7 runs over the Academy Barons of Compton Youth Academy. Blues had to come back, led 5-0 against the Riptide through 2, and a scary, disastrous top of the 6th and top of the 7th would surrender that lead. They would trail 6-5 heading into the bottom of the 9th. And in typical Blues fashion here at Sinsheimer Park, they were able to rally with 2 outs and a Justin Trimble double, who we have starting today. That's swung on and missed by by Raul Sandoval, who's now at the plate. Count is even at 1-1. 2 outs, 1-0 Oaks. Bobo is at third. Breaking ball. Misses for ball 2. Wish imploring for a strike call. We'll have to look in and deliver now a 2-ball and 1 strike count to Raul Sandoval. A possible second run for the Oaks just 90 feet away in the form of Brendan Bobo, who doubled. That was his third double this season as Wish delivers strike 2 to get the count even against Raul Sandoval, who's trying to add to his RBI total of just 2 on the season. 2-2. Misses for ball 3. Count will be full. Sandoval playing center field today. Wish able to get back-to-back outs of Durfee and Foreman. A run scoring in the process. A sac fly from Durfee has the lead at 1-0 for the Oaks. Here's a payoff pitch from Wish to Sandoval. Swung on and missed strike 3, and Wish strands the runner at third. But not before the Oaks strike first and plate the first run of this ballgame. They lead 1-0 here at Sinsheimer Park. Blues bats will have their chance to respond against the Oaks pitcher, Chris Torres. First strikeout for Wish. After giving up back-to-back hits, gets 3 consecutive outs, only giving up 1 run. It's 1-0 Conejo. Blues bats will be up in the bottom of the first. When we come back, I'm going to take a short break and be right back with you. Thanks for making us a part of your Friday night on the Blue Streaming Network. Welcome back to Sinsheimer Park in beautiful San Luis Obispo, California. Temperatures in the high 80s at first pitch, and the Oaks came out hot as well. Back-to-back hits, played the first run of this ball game. They'll be up against Chris Torres today. Chris Torres pitches against the Blues lineup that leads off with Ryan Cermak playing center field. AJ Esperanza bats second and does the catching, followed by Mason Grotto, who's playing third base for the first time since the opening series up in Lincoln. Chris Torres deals the first pitch to Cermak. It is taken high for ball 1. Torres comes in. This is his third start, and Chris brings his record of 2-1 into play, an ERA of 5.5 and 14 2/3 innings pitched. Here's a 1-0 to Cermak. It's swung on and fouled back, count even at 1-1. He's walked 4 and given up 15 hits. Started the season coming out of the bullpen, would go 2 innings. Was a reliever that could give them length. Of course, a starter in his high school days, and a starter at times in college, currently a junior at Glendale, hometown of Simi Valley, for the 6'6" right-hander, 6-foot right-hander, excuse me. That misses high, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike to Ryan Cermak. 1-0 Oaks. Cermak leading off the bottom of the first for the Blues.
One of the few starts of the season, he started against the Ventura Pirates on July 3rd. He got the win in that game.
2-1 from Torres. Foul back, and it's 2-2. Torres, who has a 4-seam fastball, 2-seam fastball that both top out in the high 80s. Says he hasn't touched 90 yet this summer, but he has. Curveball slider as well. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ryan Cermak, leading off the bottom of the first for the Blues. Lines one down the line and left. And Cermak will round first and heading to second. It's bobbled out and left momentarily, but it's a stand-up leadoff double for Ryan Cermak as he sent one down the line and left beyond the reach of Brendan Bobo. Blues in business early. Leadoff double from Cermak has him in scoring position. Still no outs in the bottom of the first, and AJ Esperanza up to the plate.
He was shaded a little bit inside of the bench after the was pushing some shortstop. And right there, just right up the line, too high for Bobo to get down.
Torres, pitching out of the stretch already, deals to Esperanza, who sends one out to center. Ranging back is Sandoval to make the catch. Tagging from second to third is Cermak. He'll be safe as he advances on the one-pitch fly out to center of Esperanza. 1-0 Oaks early. Blues a chance to tie it. Tying run at third in the form of Cermak, who led off with a double. And now Mason Grotto to the plate. Batting average of .411. RBI total of 29. Plated 3 in yesterday's ball game on a 3-run homer in the bottom of the second that made it 5-0. Esperanza flies out to center, and Grotto awaits the first pitch from Torres. In there for strike one. That was a breaking ball. And in talking to Chris before this one, he said that one thing he likes to do is throw hitters off by throwing breaking balls early in the count. Did so to Grotto there to get ahead 0-1. Second straight breaking ball is fouled off by Grotto to get the count to 0-2. We're in the bottom of the first. There's one out. It's 1-0 Oaks. Cermak led this game off with a double. Grotto a chance to bring him in as he's only 90 feet away. 0-2 the count. Torres paints the outside corner and strikes Grotto out on 3 pitches, 2 breaking balls and a 2-seamer that breaks away. And it's a strikeout for Mason Grotto, just his 10th this season. We're in game 25. But it's a key second out, and it'll be up to Vince Martinez now, the birthday boy. Happy birthday to Vince Martinez. Cleanup hitting DH out of Stanford. Average of .375 coming into play. This is his 7th start as a Blue. He's already got 5 RBIs. Breaking ball gets away, misses for ball 1. So Torres being true to his word. He's going to throw breaking balls early in the count, try and throw these hitters off. Did so to Martinez there. Misses for ball 1. Cermak is safe at third. Led off the game with a double. Advanced on an Esperanza flyout. 3-pitch strikeout of Grotto has Martinez at the plate with 2 outs. Takes the 1-0. That misses for ball 2. We're in the bottom of the first. It's 1-0 Oaks. One ball and no strikes. 2 balls and no strikes, excuse me. That one's sent out to center, and Sandoval will barely have to move. He'll range in a little bit to make the catch as Torres retires the side, stranding a runner at third himself to keep the Oaks with the lead. It's at 1-0. Torres gets 3 consecutive outs after giving up the leadoff double to Cermak. Still 1-0 Conejo. When we come back, the second inning of the second start for Kyle Wish. One nothing Oaks. Austin Carrillo will be leading off the top of the second. When we come back on the Blue Streaming Network, I'm going to take a short break. Thanks for hanging out. Top of the second about to get underway. 1-0 Oaks as they got Back-to-back hits, a single from Smith, a double from Bobo. Smith would come in to score on a Durfee sac fly to left. That has the Oaks with a 1-0 lead. Kyle Wish will be on, facing Austin Carrillo to lead us off. Both pitchers, though, giving up leadoff hits. Single of Smith, double for Cermak, would advance on a flyout and be stranded at third after Torres gave up the double to Cermak. 3 consecutive outs stranded the runner at third and kept the Oaks with their 1-0 lead. Here's Carrillo to bat with his team up 1, leading off the top of the second here at Sinsheimer Park. It's the second inning of work for Kyle Wish, right-hander out of USC. That one is sent out to right, looping base hit that drops in front of Trimble. And then for the second straight inning, the Oaks have a leadoff single. This one courtesy of Austin Carrillo.
He has been the best pitcher for the entire season for the Blues, whether it be out of the pen or on the
Just the second start for Wish. Faced the Oaks in his first. And here we are a week later, pitched against them back on the second in what was probably my favorite game of the season up until last night. We're sorry if you missed that one. 7-6 walk-off victory in the bottom of the ninth. Wish delivers ball 1 to now Cody Sulak. First time we're seeing Sulak in the lineup against the Blues. But Wish couldn't have been better in his first start. Said it was his first start in at least a couple years. He attributed his success to his changeup, which he threw the most, he said, the entire season. Said he had maybe thrown it double digits once in an outing out of the pen. That's what Kyle was used as, a right-handed reliever out of the pen. And he was one of the best, has been one of the best pitchers on this staff. Now only 2 earned runs given up. Oaks lead 1-0, and the count 1-1 on Cody Sulak. 1 strike. Carrillo safe at first with a leadoff single. Now takes off for second. Throw in from Esperanza's in time to get him and catch him stealing. There's now 1 away, and the bases are empty for Sulak. The leadoff single is erased, and Carrillo will head back into the dugout after being caught stealing. Leadoff single, caught stealing at second. Now 1 away. 2 balls and 1 strike. The count to Cody Sulak. Oaks second baseman today. That one's lined out to right, looping in front of Trimble, but he'll make the catch for the second out. Quickly 2 away, and the bases are empty now for Robert Capozzi. Capozzi brings his average of 172. This will be his 30th at-bat this season, just 5 hits to his credit, 2 of which have been doubles. He's been getting on base via the walk the most, 8 on the season for Capozzi. First time we're seeing him as well. A couple new Oaks in this lineup. Blues lineup's a bit different today. Swung on and missed for strike 1. So after the leadoff single, 2 outs occurring. Carrillo caught stealing. Sulak flies out to right. It's 1-0 Oaks. There's 2 outs, and we're in the top of the second. Here's a 0-1 from Wish. Tries to paint the corner, but misses. Count now 1 ball and 1 strike to the Oaks first baseman, Robert Capozzi. One ball and 1 strike. Misses for ball 2. So Wish seeing the Oaks for the second time this year, but facing a different lineup with guys hitting in different spots in this order. Has surrendered 1 run early. It's 1-0 Oaks. 2-1 the count to Capozzi. Swung on and missed. Count even now at 2-2. Wish starting for the second consecutive week on a Friday. On Fridays, we've usually seen the lefty, Austin Teixeira. Here's a 2-2. That one's looping out to left, but drifting foul. Count and situation remain the same. It's 2-2. No one on and 2 outs. Top second. So Teixeira is still nursing a bit of a tricep injury. Nothing major. Just not well enough to pitch. And Wish, who's been one of the best pitchers all season for the Blues, happily filling in his place. 2-2 is fouled off. To the right side by Capozzi. We'll do it all over again. Wish told me that he knew a week in advance that he would be starting on Fridays until Teixeira was healthy again. Pitching coach Dean Traynor coming to him and saying, "Kyle, you think you can start?" He said, "Absolutely." It had been a couple years, but he showed he's more than capable. 5 full, only giving up 1 hit against the Oaks a week ago. 2-2, breaking ball misses outside, count full at 3-2. 2 outs and the base is empty for Capozzi. Oaks already leading 1-0 off a sac fly from Durfee. Back in the top of the first. Leadoff double from Cermak was stranded by the Blues against Torres. That one's fouled out of play. It's the first souvenir of the day. Count remains full at 3-2. And Capozzi and Wish in a bit of a battle with 2 outs. Top second. This will be the 9th pitch of this at-bat. Second straight payoff pitch from Wish to Capozzi is fouled off again. And there will be a 10th pitch now from Wish to Capozzi. Kyle Wish, sophomore, 6'4", 225 at USC. One of 3 players on this Blues team from Illinois, hometown of Clarendon Hills. 3-2. Fouled back again, and there will be an 11th pitch in this battle between Capozzi and Wish. 1-0 Oaks early. They've already got 3 hits, leadoff singles in consecutive innings. The one by Carrillo, all for naught, as he was caught stealing. Here's the 11th pitch. 3-2 from Wish. In there, strike 3 called, and he got him. So an 11-pitch at-bat ends up in a backwards K. And Wish will still face the minimum in the top of the second. We'll head to the bottom of the second now with the Blues bats facing Torres for the second time today. Chris pitching around a leadoff double to strand a runner at third, getting 3 consecutive outs. This is his 3rd start, hometown of Simi Valley. And talking to Torres before this one, said he was happy to come back to the Oaks for a second season, as of course they play at Kalu University in TO, not far from where Torres is from, not far from where I'm from. Torres went to Sierra Canyon High School in Chatsworth. That's where he started his serious baseball career, an excellent starter in his 4 years at SC. Went to high school in Chatsworth, and if you ask him what his best start ever was, he'll say it was his senior year at Sierra Canyon. That was my junior year at Sierra, and I remember the game vividly. He got 17 outs by himself, 12 strikeouts to his credit in that one, but he said that was probably the most locked in he's been on the mound. It was a start that propelled him to say, I can go pitch in college, and I can compete against Division I bats. He's pitching against some here in the CCL. He'll face TJ Clarkson, first baseman for the Blues out of the University of Utah, to lead off the bottom of the second. Torres with a 1-0 cushion, and he'll deal to the lefty. Strike 1. Torres remaining true to his word. Breaking balls on the first pitch. They've been taken for strikes by these Blues bats. 0-1. That one's in a bit, and it hits TJ. Clarkson will jog down to first base with a bruise. For Clarkson now, that is the 8th time he's been hit by a pitch. He, unfortunately, leads the team in that category. Goes breaking ball on back-to-back pitches and hits Clarkson. It's the second base runner of the day for the Blues. This one leading off their bottom of the second as well. Throw over to first, checks on TJ. He'll remain safe. It's Justin Trimble starting in right field today for the Blues. Trimble was the hero last night. 2-run, walk-off double with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. When the 9th inning started, he was eating a hot dog, and then they called on him to come in and pinch hit, and he won the game for the Blues last night. Takes ball 1 from Torres. Trimble also back on the 4th in TO. Had a pinch hit appearance, drove in a run on an RBI single in a tie ball game. One ball, no strikes to Trimble. So in his pinch hit appearances, he's been excellent. Getting the start here today as a result. Playing right. Awaits a 1-0 and grounds this one. Double play ball to Sulak at second. He'll take the out at second. Throw on to first, not in time to get Trimble. He'll trade places with Clarkson. on the fielder's choice. There's one away for Austin Kretschmar. Back-to-back runners reach, but there's an out now. Double play ball that only got the out at second, so they get TJ, and Trimble will take his place at first. Kretschmar now bats, infielder out of Stanford, with one out. In the bottom of the second, Torres throws on to first, and Trimble is safe. So Torres had good days at Sierra Canyon High School in Chatsworth, now at Glendora College, a junior there.
We don't want to do that. We just want to do your 2 game good.
Deals ball 1 to Kretschmar. Pretty sure the first baseball game I ever called was a Torres start. That's why this has been so cool. Every time the Oaks have been town or we've been playing in TO, gotten a chance to talk to Torres about what the team has been up to this season, going beneath the numbers as he delivers strike 1 to Kretschmar, count even at 1-1. Says he's been proud of the way he's been able to respond to adversity this year. Already did so in the first inning. Leadoff double. Runner gets to third. Gets 2 consecutive outs, stranding that runner there. Throw on to Trimble. He's still safe at first. 1-1 the count to Kretschmar. Said he's had some bad first innings. Looks like he might have one tonight. But again, responded with 3 consecutive outs. Had one in his last start. Gave up 2 runs in the first. Then went 4 more. Not giving up another run. Delivers ball 2. Pitching with a 1-0 cushion. Oaks with that lead. And 2-1 the count to Austin Kretschmar. Trimble's at first, reaching on a fielder's choice. There's 1 out in the bottom of the second. Throw on to first again. Gets away momentarily, and Trimble is still safe. Torres tells me he keeps in touch with some of his guys that he not only pitched with but played with on those Sierra Canyon teams. Said not a lot of us are still playing baseball. And he said it, with a surprised tone in his voice. He said, I'm thankful to still be one of them. And I love those guys. I wish we were all still playing. Kretschmar out to left center, ranging on to make the catch is Sandoval. There's 2 away now for Grant Burton. So all 3 players from Stanford in the lineup. This is the third and final one. Outfielder Grant Burton getting the start today. Bats with 1 on and 2 out. Here in the bottom of the second, Oaks leading 1-0. Righty on righty as Torres faces Burton for the first time this season. That one moves outside, and it's called for a strike. It's Trimble at first. 0-1 the count with 2 away. So Torres, after allowing the leadoff man to reach, he hit TJ Clarkson, has gotten 2 consecutive outs. Breaking ball, dips outside, ball 1, count even now against Grant Burton. Burton stands in with only 2 hits on the season. And we mentioned this because the average comes in at 118. His 2 hits are both homers, a solo and 2-run homer. So when he makes contact, it goes a long way. Prone to the strikeout a little bit already this season, and we've seen that. Throw over to first. Trimble is still safe. Count is 1-1. Dealing to Burton with 2 outs. Oaks coming off a win, a comfortable one. Blues coming off of a win, a thrilling one. And they'll match up for the 3rd time this year. Both games between these 2 teams have been interesting, to say the least, down the stretch. Here's a 1-1. Burton hits one out to right, but it drifts foul. Count now 1-2. If Burton is to reach, it'll be Ruben Mercado. Senior out of San Jose State, due up. Torres is a strike away from ending the inning and holding the Blues scoreless, but he's got to do so facing Grant Burton. One ball and 2 strikes. Burton sends one up. Infield will have a look. It'll be Smith under it. for the catch. And retiring the side yet again is Torres after allowing a leadoff man to reach. Leadoff double from Cermak, hitting Clarkson in the first at bat at the bottom of the second, gets 3 consecutive outs to strand runners on for the Blues. It remains 1-0, Conejo Oaks with the lead. We'll head to the top of the third in the third inning of work for Kyle Wish. In this 1-0 ball game, Oaks with the lead. I'll be right back with you after a short break. Thanks for hanging out on the Blue Streaming Network, making us part of your Friday evening. Top of the third inning of work for Kyle Wish. 1-0 Oaks. Wish delivers ball 1 to Caden Suji. And if you've stuck around for this one, and if you were with us yesterday, you'll be pleased to know that our special guest from yesterday's broadcast is back because he had such a good time yesterday. This one's sent out to right. It's a looping single by Suji. He'll be safe at first. I'm referring to GM and owner of the Blues, Adam Stowe. Adam, welcome back. Good to have you.
Thanks for having me again, Zach.
Now, have you thought about the question we ended on yesterday when I mentioned to you, hey, is there a player in your tenure as owner that you thought of or you sat back and said, he personifies everything it means to be a player for the SLO Blues? Have you thought about it? Do you have an answer?
I do. I have 2 answers,
Okay.
And for very different reasons. First of all, the Blues, in my mind, has always been a local team. Even though we get talent from across the country, we're really a local product, and that's kind of close to me, close to my heart. And the 2 players that I'd like to point out are RJ Hesse and Brooks Lee. Both are local kids and very different ends of the spectrum. Brooks Lee, fantastic ball player, probably going to be a first-round draft pick, came in as a high school senior and performed above and beyond his years by 3 or 4 years. He was playing as well as our starting shortstops, if not better. So he personifies just the raw talent that comes from the area. And RJ Hesse, he started with us as a bullpen catcher in high school, caught for a couple years, played with us for a couple years, and after playing summer ball with us for a couple years, got a scholarship to go play baseball up in Chico. So you've got both ends. The local talent that comes through and goes high, and the talent that has to work ends up getting there and getting an education because of it. And those 2, I think, are my favorites.
This one's popped up to left. Mercado has it for the first out. Well, I'm glad you came back with that's just awesome. I mean, that's so good to hear that players have come through. And, of course, there have been others where you sit back and you say, hey, if you want to come back for a second season, we'd love to have you, whether they show it with their talent on the field or just their personality that they have. It's now Grant Smith as we work our way back to the top of the Oaks order. Excuse me, Brendan Bobo, but who doubled. He's 1 for 1. So this is the third game between the Blues and Oaks, and, both have kind of lived up to the hype. This one's fouled back and out of play. Both were 1-run victories. We had a 1-run victory last night. Another fun game at Sinsheimer Park. It is now the 4th game here at home in front of all these fans in which the Blues have won a game, getting go-ahead runs in the bottom of the 8th or later. How did last night resonate with you? Because it was crazy. It was overall
crazy.
a crazy game.
It was a crazy game. I didn't think we had any business winning that game.
Sure.
We had
Ryan
let our
Mercado.
pitching down quite a bit.
Yeah.
Even though we had hot bats early, they sort of fell asleep and our coach gets kicked out. I'd kind of written that game off until Justin stepped up and smacked that one to left center field.
Oh, my goodness.
But to be fair, I've seen an awful lot of one-run games go the other way. The same thing here against the Blues, and I think it's just karma paying us back.
It felt like it, and it was so cool. Trimble coming through. And that's what's been so fun is Justin Trimble and AJ Esperanza have come through twice now for the Blues. They're guys that aren't in the lineup every single day, and they're ready to play, and it shows their ability to be ready when called upon. It is now Brendan Durfee who drove in the first run of the game for the Oaks. He's the reason they lead 1-0. That is ball one from Wish to Durfee. Now, you mentioned players that you're happy to come through the Blues organization. The guy pitching on the mound for the Oaks today, I actually went to high school with. So this is a cool moment for me.
I bet.
First baseball game I ever did was actually probably his best start. We went to high school together in Chatsworth. So that's been a cool thing to have some stuff come full circle.
I bet.
I also wanted to mention that last night was a special night. Got to call walk-off on my birthday. And
Not too shabby.
Oh, not too shabby at all. And it was actually the first birthday I've had where I didn't see a member of my family. And it was different. But going out with all our interns afterwards and all of us making it back to work today, it was a lot of fun. And so we talked about our interns yesterday. We talked about what a good group it is and how you've had good people come through this organization working for you.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to let you know that last night I kind of sat back and just said, I'm not with family now, but these are people I'll remember for the rest of my life, and it was a really fun night. So
I'm so glad to hear that.
Oh, it was terrific. 1-2 the count.
I'm always amazed at how tight the bonds are that are formed during these summer internships.
Yeah.
I mean, people whose paths normally wouldn't have crossed at all become the best of friends for many, many years.
Yep.
It's fun to watch.
Absolutely. We talked about game day operations yesterday and your role being the GM and owner of this team, but this is a family affair for you. You have family that work for you.
With me.
Excuse me. Yeah, sorry. What roles are they? Who works with you, and what roles are they in?
Keith Stowe, my father, is the handyman that will fix anything from the scoreboard to the golf cart to the ox in left field.
Wow.
And jumps in bluebell because he wants to make sure the kids get attention. My mother, Marianne, is the host family coordinator and was responsible for finding, I think, 36 different beds.
Wow.
And has 10 more lined up ready to go for next year. And then I have my daughter, Quincy, who's 11 and a professional greeter and ticket taker, and does not let anybody get away with anything at the ticket entry.
That's terrific. That's got to be so fun, especially when that one's lifted out and foul. Count's still 2-2. There's 2 outs in the top of the third. I also want to ask, we talked about the fan output, and we talked about how it's different from any other team in the CCL South specifically. We talked about how much pride you take in that. What specifically do you attribute it to? Is it really the fact that SLO is a community that looks for outings like this? The lack of a professional team. That one's lined into right for a base hit. Fielded by Trimble. Throw in from home is on a line, but a bit late, and it'll be 2-0 Oaks on the RBI single from Durfee. He's driven in both runs. In the midst of all that, can you attribute it to one specific thing?
I think, no.
Okay.
But if I had to put it to the biggest contributing factor, I think it's just this area wants causes to believe in, period. And there are many good causes, whether it's homeless or feeding, families who are short on funds or helping animals, whatever it is, this area just loves causes. And if they get one that's proven to be worthy, they get behind it in greater and greater numbers. And so we built very slowly. But now we're at that point where San Luis just gets behind the Blues. Doesn't matter who's in that uniform, they're going to come out and cheer them on.
Yeah, I thought the best thing you said yesterday, or the one that resonated with me, that's looping out to right. Trimble tries to make a play. It gets by him in right. Rounding third now is Durfee. He will round third and come in to score. It is 3-0 Oaks on the RBI from Foreman. I know what you're thinking. We're down now and you want to leave. You think you're the reason.
No, I'm not Billy Bean.
No, okay. three nothing Oaks now. But no, this is a tremendous community, and this is a cause, and it's a healthy one. Anyway, what I was saying that you said yesterday, if they know what happened in the game, you were disappointed because you felt that their experience was not what it should have been.
That's right. That's right. I want them to just enjoy the overall experience, take in a little baseball, and remember they had a great time. That's it.
And I think they do that. I think other than every game and the result sticks with me because I have to keep track of it. But I love in between innings what we do on the field. Can you talk about that and how, other than the game that actually takes place in between these innings, you're able to engage the children that come to these games? Their parents are able to watch their kids go out on the field and have fun in a safe environment with interns that are going to keep their eye on them, and it's genuinely entertaining for everyone. Talk about what happens on the field in between innings and how you came up with those ideas.
Well, really, there's not many new ideas in promotion. It's just a matter of going to and experiencing numerous different kinds of sporting events and picking out little elements here and there that might work here. There were some old staples that we could never think about getting rid of, like the Dizzy Battle, the Footloose Frenzy.
Yeah.
And there's some newer things like the tennis ball toss. That one we actually created, but the rest of them have sort of been just adapted from other organizations.
Got my tennis ball
Good.
here.
I hope you make it.
Me winning doesn't do much. I don't need the season tickets.
That's right. That's why I hope you win.
No, but it really is fun to see how you're able to come up with unique ways to keep kids specifically involved. I do think it's a special environment. 1 and 2 is the Count to Sandoval. Wish deals. That one is dipping and missing for ball 2. I guess the last thing I'll ask you about before this inning possibly ends is, when did you come up with the attendance guess? Because that's been something that's been fun for me to just kind of look around and peek and say, do we really have 1,000 people here tonight on a Friday evening? This one's fouled off and out of play. When did you come up with the attendance guess?
Probably 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay.
I'm not even sure it was my idea. It might have been Taylor Santero's. We just had prizes left at the end of the game sometimes and didn't want them to go to waste. I mean, our businesses want people coming through their doors using their gift cards. And I thought it was actually a pretty valuable skill for our interns to have, be able to estimate crowd sizes.
I've found that each time I honestly get closer, and it really is, it's fascinating.
And by the end of the season, I guarantee everybody is within 50 or 100 of the actual estimate. And that's kind of what we're trying to do, teach them skills they wouldn't otherwise get.
It is very cool. I just thought of asking, what is your personal sports background? Did you play? What teams do you root for? And did you ever gravitate to baseball before you got involved with the Blues?
I played a lot of different sports.
There's a strikeout.
Played baseball up until high school, and then I ran cross country, soccer, track. Then when I got to college, I switched to lacrosse.
Wow.
Picked that up and became team captain at Poly.
You did go to Cal Poly.
I did go to Poly.
Okay.
Yeah. But really, it wouldn't matter to me if it was baseball, women's water polo, field hockey. I just like competitive athletics and putting on a show. And it just so happens that it's a wonderful sport and a wonderful town.
And I think you've done that above and beyond.
Thank you.
I really do think it's something special. My dad, who was able to come up and visit, and he's not even a big baseball guy. I felt bad when I introduced him. When I introduced him to Dana, she said, "How long are you going to be in town for?" He said, "About another hour." But it wasn't for anything that was going on here. He said that even if there wasn't a game going on, being a part of an atmosphere like this, given the year that we're coming out of, it was a special thing for him to see as well. And obviously, me playing a role with it, I can tell you personally from him, he thanks you as much as I do for this opportunity. We're going to take a short break and be right back for the bottom of the third on the Blue Streaming Network. Thanks for hanging out. Welcome back. We are in the bottom of the third. It's 3-0 Blues. After a 2-run top of the third, saw the Oaks get a couple off of Kyle Wish to get this now to a 3-0 cushion for their man on the mound, Chris Torres, who's facing Ruben Mercado, who pops one up. The infield will have a look, but it'll drift out of play for a souvenir, and we'll see who catches it. Count is now 1-1 to Mercado. Send our thanks. And, of course, as always, appreciation to GM and owner Adam Stowe of the Blues joining us and sitting down with us for a half inning. We had him for an inning and a half yesterday. He had such a good time that, we said we'd have him back for another 3 outs, make it 2 full innings, and, of course, we'll have him back. That one's fouled off and out of play. The count is now 1-2 to Mercado. Torres dealing to Ruben for the first time today. Mercado is senior at San Jose State. Played for Coach Miller at Quest College. Good friends with Mason Grotto. Here's a 1-2. Dips outside and gets away, count even now at 2-2. Mercado awaits a 2-2 from Chris Torres. We're in the bottom of the third. It's 3-0 Oaks. That one misses high for ball 3. No outs. Bottom of the third, 3-0 Oaks. Dips low for ball 4, and there'll be a leadoff walk for Ruben Mercado. So interestingly, and it's a trend already, in all 3 innings for the Blues offense, they've got the leadoff man on first. All a different way. It was a leadoff double for Cermak to start the ball game. He's at the plate now with Mercado safe at first. TJ Clarkson was hit by a pitch to lead off the bottom of the second, and Mercado is now walked to lead off the bottom of the third. Runner on for Cermak, no outs, and Torres delivers ball 1. So Cermak already 1 for 1 against Torres with a double that led off this ball game. Cermak would be stranded at third. Blues trail the Oaks 3-0. This is the second game between these two teams here at Sinsheimer Park. The Oaks making the trip up from Thousand Oaks, California, to come play a ball game up here in SLO. Cermak lines 1 to left for a base hit. He's 2 for 2 with a double and a single, and it's runners on first and second for the Blues for Mason Grotto with no outs.
And so here's where Chris Torres really has to give up a single to Cermak after Ruben Mercado already reached this. Who he's facing off against?
Excuse me, AJ Esperanza. Mason Grotto is due up after AJ Esperanza, but it is the Blues catcher, Esperanza, who flew out to center in his first at-bat, now bats with a man on first and second, and no outs. You're in the bottom of the third. He's the tying run at the plate as they trail 3-0. Torres will check second and now deal outside. Ball 1 to Esperanza. And now it's 3 consecutive batters. He has dealt ball 1-2. Esperanza only saw 1 pitch from Torres in that first at-bat. He sent it out to center. Did not threaten to leave. Esperanza with 2 home runs on this season. 1 against the Oaks. It was a deciding 2-run bomb in the bottom of the 8th that got them their last win here against the Oaks at Sinsheimer Park. 1-0 is lined out to right center. That'll drop and work its way all the way to the wall. Esperanza will round first as Mercado and Cermak round third to score. It's a 2 RBI double from AJ Esperanza. It's 3-2. So the lead has been cut now to just 1, and Torres gives up 2 on the 2 RBI double from the Blues catcher, who continues to do damage against the Conejo Oaks. This time it's early in the ball game. Our score now 3-2. Esperanza is safe at second base for Mason Grotto, who struck out on 3 pitches back in the first. He bats with a runner in scoring position and no outs in the bottom of the third. It is now 3-2. Oaks still with the lead. Torres will look in and deal to the Fresno State Bulldog, Mason Grotto, after checking second. Breaking ball is sent weakly over to Smith at short. He'll throw across his body, and the splits are done by Capozzi at first, but he is safe. What an effort by Capozzi. My groin hurts just watching that play, but Grotto is safe on an infield single. Capozzi, after making an acrobatic play at first, arguing the call, but now 4 consecutive Blues have reached against Chris Torres. Walk of Mercado led off the inning. Single by Cermak followed that up. And then Esperanza would send a 2-run double to the wall in right center to make it 3-2. Grotto just reached on an infield single. And it's men on first and second for the catcher out of Stanford. He's batting cleanup and DHing today. The birthday boy, Vince Martinez. Swung on and missed for strike one. Torres delivers off speed again on the first pitch. Martinez has a hack at it, but gets air, and it's 0-1 to the birthday boy, who flew out to center in his first at-bat. He's 0-1, but a chance to come through on a special day for him. Blues have cut the lead to just 1 for Conejo. Torres will check second and deliver an 0-1. Swung on and missed. It's off speed again to Martinez, and he swings and misses through that one. Count now 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. It's Esperanza at second, who doubled in 2 runs, and Grotto, who just reached on an infield single. Mason Grotto, we cannot fail to mention, has a base hit in every ballgame he has started this entire season. That's a 24-game hitting streak. 0-2, Martinez swings and misses at a pitch that's away. And it's a 3-pitch strikeout for Vince. That's a key first out. And TJ Clarkson will step to the plate. Men on first and second for him. Strikeout of Martinez is that 1 out. Second strikeout for Torres today. Torres' first pitch to Clarkson is lined up to Smith. Tosses on to second. Throw on to first. Capozzi does the splits again, but Clarkson is safe. They'll get 1 runner out at second. That's the second out. Runners are at the corners now as Esperanza advances to third. Grotto is thrown out at second, and Clarkson reaches again on a fielder's choice. He has reached in now both plate appearances after being hit by a pitch and now reaching on a fielder's choice. That'll bring Justin Trimble to the plate with men at the corners and 2 away now in the bottom of the third. He reached on a fielder's choice in his last at-bat. 3-2 our score. Oaks with the lead. Blues have plated 2 on an Esperanza double, and he stands at third. He's the tying run. Torres looks in and deals to Trimble for the second time today. The 2 runs scored by the Blues are here's the first pitch. It's fouled off to the left side. The 10th and 11th runs given up by Torres this season. And the ERA a bit higher than Torres would like. The record fine at 2-1, but the ERA at 5.5, he'll tell you it's higher than he would like and that he feels he's capable of performing. No balls and 1 strike to Justin Trimble, the hero from last night's ball game. Throw on to first, checks on Clarkson. And we saw that a lot when TJ reached to lead off the second. We're in the bottom of the third now. Blues have plated 2 to make it 3-2. And I think it's interesting enough to note that in the first matchup between these 2 teams at Sinsheimer, that was back on July 2nd. Breaking ball feathered in for strike 2. Beautiful pitch, and he's ahead firmly 0-2 on Justin Trimble. The Oaks led 4-0. No runs were scored by either team through 5. And then at the top of the 6th, it was disastrous for the Blues. Oaks would plate 4. Blues would come back in the bottom of the 7th, however, and cut it in half. They'd get 2. And then that insane bottom of the 8th would see them plate 3 and get the win 5-4. So they had to come back against this team a lot later. Last time they played here at Sinsheimer, score is just 3-2. 5 combined runs early, and Torres delivers ball 1 to Trimble. Count is now 1-2. Runners still at the corners for the Blues. It's Clarkson at first and Esperanza at third. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fouled away. It's still 1-2. Count and situation remain the same. Tying run is at third for San Luis Obispo. 18 wins in their first 24 games. This is game 25. First place in the CCL South at 8-4 at record in conference play. No losses yet to this team, the Conejo Oaks, trying to keep it that way and get a second consecutive win here at home. Here's a 1-2. Dips outside, ball 2. Misses. So after the Blues sent 4 men to the plate and 4 men reached and 2 runs scored, he got a key strikeout of Martinez. That was on just 3 pitches. And a double play ball was sent to short, by Clarkson. He finds himself safe. It was unable to be turned. 2-2 is swung on and missed by Trimble. And Torres gets out of another jam, but not before the Blues plate 2 runs. They'll strand runners on first and third and pick up his 3rd strikeout. But the score is now 3-2 as the Blues plate 2 on a AJ Esperanza double to right center. We're going to head now to the top of the 4th. In just a 1-run ball game, it'll be the 4th inning of work for Kyle Wish, right-hander at USC. Trimble strikes out. It's 3 strikeouts for Torres. His team still has the lead at 3-2. We'll be back in the top of the 4th, While we have a moment, I want to thank one of our many generous sponsors of the San Luis Obispo Blues. We want to thank our friends at Via Automotive. If you're in need of any automotive repairs in the San Luis Obispo area, check out our friends at Via Automotive. They've got you covered. They've been with us since 1946. That's all 75 years of the Blues' existence. So thank you to them. And check out Via Automotive, where their slogan is, "Our family taking care of your family." I'm Zach Ebrahim. I'm going to take a short break. Be back with you for the top of the 4th on the Blues Streaming Network. Thanks for making us part of your Friday evening. Top 4, 3-2. Wish sends the first pitch, and it's caught by Trimble. It is Austin Carrillo leading off the top of the 4th. Sees one pitch, sends it to right. It's caught by Trimble. There's 1 away. Fly out to right. 1 pitch, 1 out. Brings Cody Sulak to the plate. He flew out to right in his first at-bat, so he's 0 for 1 against Wish today. Score now 3-2. Wish giving up 2 runs. In the top of the 3rd, it was the second RBI of the day from Brendan Durfee. So he's brought in 2 on an RBI single and a sac fly to left. And then TJ Foreman would follow that up with an RBI triple. That made it 3-0. Blues plated 2 to make it a 1-run ball game. That's where we stand now. 3-2 Oaks with the lead. Count is 1-1 to Cody Sulak, the Oaks second baseman. Here's that 1-1. Half-hearted check swing. They'll say he went around and call strike 2. Wish now ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sulak.
In his last few outings, he has done a little bit of a worse job in getting on base.
1-2 from Wish to Sulak. In there, strike 3 called, and he got him. So Wish sets him down on 4 pitches. His third strikeout looking. And the 4th strikeout overall for Kyle Wish. Quickly 2 away for Robert Capozzi, who was one of those 4 strikeout victims. He'll step to the plate. Last time up, he had an 11-pitch at-bat. Absolute battle against Wish that Kyle would eventually win. But not before Capozzi ran that pitch count up. Here's the first pitch to Capozzi. There's no one on and 2 outs. We're in the top of the 4th in a 3-2 ball game. First one's outside, ball 1. For Capozzi, again, that average, not too special when you look at it. Just 172 coming into play. That pitch is outside from Wish. Again, 2 balls and no strikes to count. 2 balls and no strikes to Capozzi. Here's that 2-0. That dips low for ball 3. For Wish, the walk total very low this season. Not characteristic of him to allow too many men to reach via the base on balls. Here's a 3-0. That misses outside for ball 4, and it's a 4-pitch walk to Robert Capozzi. He'll be safe at first. For Wish, that is just his 3rd walk given up this entire season. This is his 7th appearance. He's given up 3 runs in this one. Coming into today, he had only given up 1 overall in the entire season. That total now sits at 4 for him. The ERA is going to raise a little bit, but that's just how good Kyle's been. Caden Suji will step to the plate now. Suji, who hit a weak single to right, is 1 for 1. And Capozzi just reached on a 4-pitch walk. He is safe at first base. Wish will check first and now deal to Suji. 2 away, top 4. That one's fouled off to the right side. Gets over the netting for a souvenir. So Wish trying to get through a 4th inning of work, only having surrendered 3 runs. Sophomore at USC that could possibly match, depending on the pitch count. His longest outing that came against this Oaks team, back on the 2nd, went 5 full, pitched beautifully. 6 Ks, only 1 hit given up. Second pitch, dips in for strike 2 on the breaking ball. Suji has not taken a ball yet. He's seen 3 pitches and is behind 0-2 against Kyle Wish. It's Capozzi at first. He reached on a walk. 3-2 our score. Oaks with the lead. There's 2 outs and we're in the top of the 4th here at Sinsheimer Park on a Friday afternoon. Swung on and missed strike 3. It stays in the glove of Esperanza. 4-pitch strikeout for Suji follows a 4-pitch walk of Capozzi. It's the 5th strikeout for Wish. It's his 18th of the season, and he is indeed through 4. 3-2 our score. 1-run ball game. Another good one between the Blues and Oaks, and it will indeed be Chris Torres trying to match Wish and go through 4 full. Still with that 1-run cushion on the mound. He'll be up against the Blues bats when we return on the other end of this break on the Blues Streaming Network. Thanks for hanging out and making us a part of your Friday evening. Torres deals to Kretschmar outside, ball 1. Man, Torres has really been true to his word, and I just want to point it out because he's throwing breaking balls on the first pitches of these at-bats to Blues hitters. They have rarely swung at it, and they're taking – that was ball 1. Here's a 1-0 now. That's the fastball that's inside. And he said that he attacks righties inside as much as possible, throws the 2-seamer more to lefties because it has more movement breaking away from their bats, away from their barrels more specifically. 2 balls and no strikes to count to Austin Kretschmar, who flew out to center in his first at-bat against Torres. That's the 4-seamer. That's high. It's ball 3. Torres in danger. He's kept the walks down as well. The walk to Mercado was his 5th this season, on the doorstep of a possible 6th against Kretschmar. There's a strike. Austin thought it was ball 4. He was about to toss that bat to the dugout, and he'll have to step back in and await a 3-1 from Chris Torres, who stares down the home plate and says, that one was over the heart of the plate. And here's a 3-1 from Torres to Kretschmar. Righty comes set and delivers. That one's lined to left by Kretschmar, but foul. Count is worked full now. So after Austin has thought, maybe I'll get a 4-pitch walk out of this, maybe I'll get a double down the left field line out of this, he'll have to step back in and await a 3-2 pitch from Chris Torres, the junior out of Simi Valley.
And so now a full count to Austin Kretschmar. So Torres, after going down 3-0, has worked his way back in.
3 balls and 2 strikes. And a payoff pitch to Austin Kretschmar that is taken low. And it is indeed ball 4. Good at bat overall. And Kretschmar finds himself safe at first base with a walk. The 2nd of the day for Torres and the 6th for him on the season. Bringing Grant Burton to the plate. And he took care of relatively easily, as Burton is 0 for 1 with a pop out to short. Leadoff man reaches, and this is extremely fascinating. In all 4 innings, Chris Torres has allowed the leadoff man to reach. For the 2nd consecutive inning, it's via a walk. Kretschmar is going to steal second base as Burton swings and misses for a pitch that's way off the plate. Count is 0-1, but Kretschmar has himself a stolen base. He is in scoring position, and he is the tying run. For Austin, that was his 3rd walk of the season in just his short time as a Blue, and his first stolen base. Here's an 0-1 to Burton, who takes ball 1 from Chris Torres. Burton with the average at 118, 2 hits, 2 homers. 1 ball and 1 strike to count against Chris Torres, who pitches out of the stretch with Kretschmar at 2nd. Time is called by Suji behind the plate. He'll have a word with Torres. So he's got the count even on Burton. He walked Kretschmar to lead off the bottom of the 4th. Kretschmar stole second base. Now he's in scoring position. Our score is 3-2. The Conejo Oaks with the lead. Blues have scored 2 runs, all in the bottom of the 3rd, in all 4 innings now. Their leadoff man has reached. That one's way inside, and it is taken for ball 2 by Grant Burton. Every game big for the Blues, especially against opponents from the South. This is the 3rd game against the Oaks. They had beaten every team in the South except for the Riptide. They changed that last night. 2-1 the count. They've taken care of the Oaks in 2 meetings, trying to do so for a 3rd consecutive. That's high, ball 3. And Burton's ahead in the count. 3 balls, 1 strike. Kretschmar stands in at 2nd after walking and stealing the base. There's still no outs. We're in the bottom of the 4th with the outfielder from Stanford trying to bring in his teammate, an infielder from Stanford who stands at 2nd base. And Torres delivers a 3-1 after checking 2nd. Way high, and it is indeed ball 4. It's the 2nd consecutive walk for Torres in this inning. It's his 7th given up this year. 3rd walk of the game for the Blues brings Ruben Mercado to the plate. He was the first man he walked in this one. Meeting of the minds on the mound. Pitching coach having a word with Torres after back-to-back walks. We mentioned the numbers had been low in that category coming into play tonight. Has now walked 3 in the bottom of the 3rd and bottom of the 4th now. Mercado was walked on 4 pitches. now bats with men on first and second. And the Blues, of course, only down by 1, 3-2 our score, no outs, bottom 4. And Torres dealing to Mercado. Torres deals the first pitch to Mercado, who pops a bunt up for strike 1.
Capozzi and Bobo were both charging. There's no one to cover third base if Bobo does charge hard. Grant Smith shooted close to the second base.
No balls and 1 strike to Mercado. Runners on first and second for the Blues. No outs, bottom 4. 3-2, Oaks with the lead. Torres looks in. No balls, 1 strike. Mercado lays down a bunt. And throwing over to third is Capozzi. They'll say that Kretschmar is out. So Capozzi comes in from first to field the bunt. Would have been interesting to see if Torres fielded it, whether he would have thrown to first or third. Capozzi did a pirouette and threw to third to get the leadoff man out. And it is a huge first out as the situation remains the same. Mercado's at first, reaching on a fielder's choice. It'll bring Cermak to the plate as we work our way back to the top of the Blues order. But what could have been bases loaded and no outs is now men on first and second and 1 out for Ryan Cermak, the man who is 2 for 2 against Torres today with a single and a double. He'll take strike 1 as Torres gets ahead in the count. Back-to-back walks had men on first and second. Mercado laid down a bunt, and Capozzi flew in from first to field it and gunned to third. Catch was made by Bobo, and they got the leadoff man out. Cermak takes ball 1, count even.
1 ball, 1 strike. But he did get out of the game.
1 ball and 1 strike to count. We are in the bottom of the 4th. 3-2 our score. Blues have been threatening all inning since Torres walked back-to-back men. Key out was just recorded. Mercado's going to take off. Runners are both going to take off. They're both going to steal. Mercado's now at second, and Burton is at third. It's 2 stolen bases. Runners were going no matter what. It's taken for a ball by Cermak. Count is 2-1. Now 2 runners in scoring position. The tie run 90 feet away. The go-ahead run 90 feet away for the Blues. 180 feet away. Sure. Tying run at third. Go-ahead run at second. That's more like it. Less numbers. Cermak lines 1 into center. Burton's going to score. Throwing from center won't be in time. Blues take the lead 4-3. Cermak is 3 for 3 and has now driven in 2 runs to give the Blues the lead here in the bottom of the 4th. Cermak with 2 singles and a double. He's 3 for 3 against Torres. He comes back to bite him again. 2 runners steal, second and third. And on the next pitch, Cermak lines 1 to center, brings in 2, and gives the Blues the lead 4-3. Esperanza stands in. He's already driven in 2 himself on a double back in the 3rd. We're in the bottom of the 4th. It's now 4-3 Blues, and there's only 1 out. With Cermak at first, he's given the Blues the lead. Torres delivers ball 1 outside, and Suji threatens to throw. Keeps him honest. But the red-hot Ryan Cermak, 3 for 3, back in that leadoff spot. Saw him bat 6th yesterday and have an incredible at-bat in the bottom of the 9th that would see him single to left. Throw on to first again, keep Cermak honest. He is still safe. But he had an incredible at-bat to remain safe and keep the rally going, passing the baton off to Justin Trimble, who would win the ballgame. Cermak's going to take off for second. It's in there for a strike. Throw is high. It's a stolen base for Ryan Cermak. Getting him to double digits now at 10. And he now leads the Blues in that statistical category. 10 stolen bases for Ryan Cermak, the 5-tool center fielder who is showing off everything today. The bat, the speed, the glove, and he is in scoring position for Esperanza, who took a strike, but is 1 for 2 with a 2 RBI double back in the bottom of the third. Now bats with Cermak on second. Here's a 1-1 taken outside by Esperanza. 2 balls and 1 strike. Torres unable to get out of that most recent jam, and he had been playing with fire, allowing the leadoff man to reach in 4 consecutive innings. Blues finally plate 2 off him to take the lead 4-3. We're in the bottom of the 4th. There's 1 out. Torres throws into second as Cermak had a lead off. Smith came in as Torres threw to him, trying to pick off Cermak, or at least force him to head back into the bag. He'll do so. He's safe at second. There's 1 out, and Esperanza's at the plate, responsible for the first 2 runs plated by the Blues in the bottom of the 3rd. The man at second is responsible for them having the lead. Esperanza takes ball 3. Torres struggling with a bit of command here in the bottom of the 4th, and the Blues have capitalized. When he's thrown them strikes, they've sent them into the outfield. Three balls and 1 strike. Esperanza takes over the heart of the plate, strike 2. Count will be full. And Torres trying to deal with the man at the plate now. Cermak is in scoring position and has good speed, but a second out would be huge. And the always dangerous Mason Grotto is on deck. 1 away in the bottom of the 4th. Blues have taken the lead 4-3. 2-run single by Ryan Cermak, the reason why. Popped up by Esperanza. Infield will have a look. It's Grant Smith now waiting for Brendan Bobo to make the catch. Cermak remains at second. That'll bring Mason Grotto to the plate. Bats with a man on second and 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Blues have taken the lead 4-3. Grotto trying to possibly extend the lead with a base hit. This is the only man on the Blues whose average is over 400 consistently. Second in the CCL in batting average at 411. Leads the team in RBIs with 29. Ryan Cermak is now threatened his RBIs in this inning. Number 20 and 21 for Cermak. First pitch to Grotto. Hits, strike 1. And Grotto, who drove in 3 yesterday on a 3-run homer in the bottom of the 2nd, to give the Blues a 5-0 lead that they would eventually relinquish and take right back to win the ballgame 7-6. They've taken both from the Oaks this season. No balls and 1 strike. To Grotto. Lines 1 to right. Another base hit. Cermak with good speed will round third. Throw in from right is cut off. He scores. It's 5-3 and RBI number 30 for Mason Grotto. He's done it in just 25 games. 5-3. Blues lead, and that'll bring the birthday boy to the plate. Vince Martinez, who is 0 for 2. But Grotto and Cermak have done the damage in this bottom of the 4th, plating 3 and giving the Blues the lead 5-3 over the Conejo Oaks. Taken for strike 1. Breaking ball to Martinez. There's 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Our score now 5-3. Blues with the lead. They have plated 5 off of Torres, 2 in the bottom of the 3rd, and now 3 in the bottom of the 4th. Torres will step off and cycle through the signs with Suji one more time. Grotto's safe at first. We'll see if he tries to steal a base here and possibly tie Cermak for the lead in that category again. Cermak came in to score, made it 5-3. Grotto, the man that drove him in. It was RBI 30 for the Fresno State Bulldog. Just incredible what he's been able to do with ducks on the pond and runners in scoring position. He's been the most reliable. He's been the most productive. Continues to do so. Safe at first for Martinez, who's in an 0-1 count against Chris Torres. Grotto will take off for second, but Martinez will foul one off. Torres gets ahead on him, 0-2. Bottom 4, 5-3, 2 outs in the inning. Torres trying to get through 4, keeping the deficit at just now 2 for the Oaks. They led 3-0 through 2.5. Blues would quickly cut into that one, have now taken the lead. Torres trying to retire Martinez for a third time today. He's 0-2 against him. Grotto will take off. Martinez will send one into right. Torres has given up another hit, and Grotto will find himself at third as he was running to steal. Martinez got a pitch to hit, and it's runners at the corners now for the Blues. Martinez has reached for the first time on his birthday. It's a single to right for him. Brings TJ Clarkson to the plate for the Blues with runners at the corners and 2 away. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Blues lead 5-3. TJ Clarkson out of the University of Utah, teammates with Matt Sox, who we saw have arguably his best outing of the season. You can pick any of his outings and say that one sticks out in a certain way. Sox went 5 full innings, striking out 12. Clarkson takes strike 1 from Torres. Chris has got to find a way to get out of this jam, and he's done it already. Runners on first and third, able to get a third out to end the inning. Will have to do so against TJ Clarkson, a man who has reached in 2 plate appearances against him, but after being hit by a pitch and reaching on a fielder's choice. That's a called strike 2, and a curious one. No balls and 2 strikes now to Clarkson. 2 away in the bottom of the 4th. Blues have taken the lead 5-3. Here's an 0-2. That's hit to Sulak. He'll toss on to first to finally end the inning. Torres does indeed strand men on first and third. He's been doing that all day up until this 4th inning, where the Blues plate 3 off of him. An RBI, 2 RBI double by Esperanza in the bottom of the 3rd, cut the lead to just 1. And a 2 RBI single by Cermak gave them the lead. An RBI single by Grotto has it now at 5-3. It's a 2-run cushion for the Blues and Kyle Wish, who will be back on the mound trying to match what he did against the Oaks in his first start of this season. Get through 5 full. Wish has been sharp. Our score is 5-3. Blues have taken the lead. I'm going to take a short break and be right back with you on the other end of this break here on the Blues Streaming Network. Welcome back. We are in the top of the 5th. Oaks bats are back up, and it's Kyle Wish dealing inside. Ball 1. And we're back to the top of the Oaks order. And Grant Smith, who led this ball game off with a single, popped out to third in his next at-bat. He's 1 for 2 against Kyle Wish. 1-0. Check swing, and I'll say he held. 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 the count. Wish has only walked 1. Gave up 3 runs in the top of the third. That lead for the Oaks quickly disappeared after the Blues have plated 5 now in the bottom of the third and the bottom of the fourth. 2 balls and 1 strike. Grant Smith. Three balls and 1 strike. Smith comes in with his average at .295 coming into play. That single for him was base hit number 19 on the season. .3-1. Grounded foul to the left side. Count will be full at 3-2. So Wish trying to go through 5 full against the Oaks for a second consecutive start. This is his second start on the season. Previously, he had come out of the pen 4 times, been outstanding. Only the 1 earned run given up. Payoff pitch. Popped up. Infield will have a look. Grotto and Mercado, who will take it. Grotto calls for it, makes the catch. 1 away. Here's Brendan Bobo. 1 for 2 as well against Wish. Back in the top of the first, he doubled following Smith's single. He would come around to score on a Brendan Durfee. Smith would come around to score on a Brendan Durfee sac fly. Bobo would be stranded at third. Swings and misses through the first pitch. Count is 0-1. That's outside, ball 1. Bobo, who has 20 more at-bats than Austin Carrillo, but his batting average is 2 points less. There's a 1-1. Grounded foul to the right side, and it's 1-2. Wish ahead in the count. Oaks have 3 players batting over 300, Austin Carrillo and Brendan Bobo. We've seen both in this one, and both have some knocks. Bobo a double, and for him back in the first, that was his 3rd this season. And Carrillo's single. Here's a 1-2. Grounded foul to the right side again. For Conejo, that was his 12th hit. That came in the top of the second, leading it off. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Oaks' third baseman today. In the 2 previous meetings, we saw Bobo play first base. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wish deals high, ball 2. Count even now. Just the 1 out as we enter the 5th. Top 5, 5-3 our score. Blues with the lead. Here's a 2-2. Hit to Clarkson at first. Line to him, and he caught it. And there's 2 away. Now 2 away for Brendan Durfee, the man who is responsible for 2 of the 3 Oaks runs in this one. The first coming on a sac fly to left. The second coming on an RBI single in the 3rd. So he's officially 1 for 1. The sac fly not counting as an at-bat, but drove in a run for Durfee. The 2 RBIs in this one give him now 8 on the season. Take strike 1 on the breaking ball from Kyle Wish. Two outs, top 5, and 5-3 our score. Wish delivers an 0-1. Hit out to left, and ranging back is Burton. He'll make a running catch in fair territory, robbing Durfee of extra bases. And Wish retires the side. His first 1-2-3 inning and now he has officially gone through 5 full, the 5th being his quickest, and he maintains the 5-3 lead for the SLO Blues. Their bats will be up and look to tack on when we come back in the bottom of the 5th. But while we have this short break in between innings, we want to thank another one of our generous sponsors. We want to thank Club Cannon, and they sponsor all the CO2 cannons here at Sinsheimer Park, which we absolutely love when they go off, which is when the Blues score. They've done so far, and they've done so very well, plating 5 in the 3rd and 4th. There's a new pitcher on the mound. The day is unfortunately done for Chris Torres, but he danced with the devil in some innings, allowing runners to reach in 4 consecutive innings. His day's done through 4, but Chris did all he could. New pitcher on the mound for the Oaks, and we'll introduce you to him on the other end of this break. Thanks for hanging out and making us a part of your Friday evening. Really appreciate it. New pitcher on the mound for the Conejo Oaks. Right-handed reliever out of Oxnard. He's a senior at Cal State Los Angeles. His name is Brent Jacques. And the last time we saw Brent was on the 4th, so we saw him back on Independence Day. He went through 1 2/3, got 5 outs, gave up 2 hits, an earned run mixed in with 2 walks and a strikeout. Faces Justin Trimble as the Blues will lead off their half of the 5th. We're on the bottom of the 5th. It's 5-3 with the Blues ahead, and Trimble at the plate taking strike 1 from Jacques. Trimble has reached on a fielder's choice. He struck out back in the 4th. We're in the bottom of the 5th now, and he leads it off. Right fielder swings and misses through the second pitch from Jacques, and it's 0-2.
Against the Oaks, when the Blues traveled down to Cal, Justin Trimble came in the 9th inning. He gave the last part of the lineup of the game and put the Oaks ahead.
No balls and 2 strikes. Outside, ball 1. Jacques ahead on Trimble, 1-2. Breaking ball, high, ball 2. Count even now. Trimble, of course, we'll mention it over and over again. The hero last night in the bottom of the 9th has come through in 2 pinch hit appearances with clutch knocks that have brought in go-ahead runs. Last night, the winning runs, 2-run double in the bottom of the 9th to give the Blues a 7-6 victory. Here's a 2-2 hit off the bat of Trimble. Bobo at third, Guns to Capozzi at first. It's 5-3 ground out. That'll bring Kretschmar to the plate, who was walked to lead off the bottom of the 4th. So this is the first inning tonight, that the Blues have not gotten the leadoff man on. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Trimble grounded out to third, and now Kretschmar fouls one off to get behind in the count 0-1. Brent Jacques, 6'5", 235. Big 6'5" right-hander out of Oxnard. Has only given up 3 hits the entire season. Here's an 0-1 to Kretschmar. Swung on and missed 2. Through for strike 2. There it is. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. The Oaks actually have more hits than the Blues. They have 6 hits. They've plated 3 runs on those 6 hits. And the Blues have 5 runs on 4 hits. That's inside ball 1. Blues only have 2 extra base hits. 2 doubles, one by Cermak and one by Esperanza. Both those men have driven in 4 runs. And, of course, Mason Grotto, whose hitting streak has reached 24 games in which he's started and gotten a hit. If you're wondering what he did in that 25th game that he didn't start in, that's fouled off. Count still 1-2. He came in with a runner at third and sent a fly ball to left to drive in a run on a sac fly. In typical Mason Grotto fashion, he can have just 1 at-bat and affect the game in a big way, driving in a run. With his RBI today, he's at an even 30 through 5 games, 24 of which he has started and gotten a hit. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Austin Kretschmar, who has flown out to center and walked in this one. Facing Brent Jacques for the first time today. Right-hander deals a 1-2, and that's swung on, and Kretschmar made contact with it. Count remains the same. Situation the same. No one on and 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Blues lead 5-3. Blues 18-6. Oaks 10-7. Blues are first in the CCL South at 8-4. Oaks 4th at 6-6 in the CCL South. Kretschmar fouls another one off, and it's 1-2. We have a lot of people ask us how the playoff format is going to work in the CCL, since there are 6 teams in the South and 4 teams in the North. Well, the way it's going to work is the top 3 teams in the South will make it, and the top 2 in the North will battle it out. In the first week of August, Kretschmar checks his swing, does not go around, takes ball 2, count even now. So they'll battle it out. Right now, the Blues in first place. And as mentioned, the Oaks. This is another key game, though, because you want to maintain ground on the teams beneath you. Blues are going to have a slew of home games in late July consecutively. And when I say consecutively, I mean 2 straight weeks. We're in the bottom of the 5th. That's ball 3. Count is full to Austin Kretschmar. Here's a payoff pitch from Jacques to Kretschmar. It's outside ball 4, and it's the second walk for Kretschmar today. A terrific at-bat. Finds him safe at first. Base on balls. It's the only time he's reached. Only way he's reached, has done so twice. 2 walks for Kretschmar. Grant Burton's got a walk. He reached on base on balls in the bottom of the 4th. He bats now with 1 man on and 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 5th, 5-3 our score. Blues with the lead. Burton at the plate with his Stanford teammate on for the 2nd consecutive at-bat. He'll swing and miss through strike 1. No balls and 1 strike to Grant Burton. Kretschmar just walked. He's safe at first. There's 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Here's no 1. Burton takes ball 1 to get the count even.
17 at-bats. He has just 2 hits. The walk today was his first walk of the entire season. This was 9 strikeouts to his name, so he is susceptible to going down swinging. Jumps.
1 ball and 1 strike
The 1-1.
to Grant Burton.
And a miss.
Swings and misses
So Grant Burton now
to get
goes
Jacques ahead in the count, 1-2.
And Burton, I just mentioned, someone who has been susceptible to go down with a strikeout at Frank Jumps.
1 out, bottom 5.
That is a strikeout.
5-3 our score. Blues with the lead. And Burton behind in the count, 1-2. Jacques looking for the put-away pitch. He'll step off momentarily, forcing Kretschmar to head back into first. And Burton will await a 1-2.
So right now for the Blues, you see a lot of people reach base twice. Kretschmar being one of them. Grant Burton trying to be another one. Ryan Cermak, he leads the way with 3 times reaching base. He's 3 for 3 in the game. Double, 2 singles, 3 runs scored, and 2
Throw over to first. Checks on Kretschmar. He's still safe.
Still 1-2 Grant Burton.
Still just the 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. And Grant Burton at the plate. He has walked and popped out to short. The outfielder from Stanford that has 2 hits this summer, both via the homer. Kretschmar is going to take off. That one's inside, and it hits Grant Burton. Are they going to say it hit his bat? It didn't hit him. It hit his bat. And that is technically a foul ball. And Kretschmar, who would have had a stolen base, his second of this game and of the season, is forced to head back into first. I was confused as to why Burton was groaning because at first I thought it hit him, and I thought, okay, there's a reason to groan. But he's pissed because it hit his bat, and he didn't even swing at it. It was easily ball 2 and easily a stolen base for Kretschmar. Just didn't work out. Here's a 1-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Ruben Mercado steps to the plate after walking and reaching on a fielder's choice back in the 3rd and 4th. We're in the bottom of the 5th. It's 5-3. Another good one here at Sinsheimer Park between the Blues and Oaks. And it's Brent Jacques trying to get through his first inning of relief and hold the Blues scoreless. Got Trimble to ground out to 3rd. Walked Kretschmar. He's safe at first still and now has to deal with Mercado after striking out Grant Burton. Here's the first pitch to Ruben. Swung on and fouled back for strike 1. No balls and 1 strike to the shortstop. Played for head coach Bob Miller at Cuesta College. Now a senior at San Jose State. Batting 9th today. We've seen him bat 8th and 9th and actually lead off a ball game in Orange County. In a bit of a shakeup in the lineup. 1 ball and 1 strike to count as Jacques deals outside. Kretschmar is still safe at first. Oaks, who got 1 run early on against Kyle Wish and 2 more in the 3rd, would respond with 2 in the bottom of the 3rd. And 3 in the bottom of the 4th to take the lead at what is now 5-3. 1-1 to Mercado is popped up. And with 2 outs, this should end the inning. But who's going to catch it? It ends up being Grant Smith, who finds himself on the mound making the catch to retire the side. Blues are held scoreless by Brent Jacques. And we'll see who's on the mound for the slow Blues when we come back in the top of the 6th. Oaks backs looking to come back in this one. When we return, I'm going to take a short break and be right back with you on the other end of this short break on the Blue Streaming Network. Thanks so much for making us a part of your Friday evening. So Kyle Wish is out for a 6th inning of work, and he deals strike 1 to TJ Foreman, who has an RBI triple in this one. Popped out to first in his first at-bat. He is 1 for 2 with an RBI triple. That plated the 3rd run of the day for the Oaks. That was off of Kyle Wish, the man who's still out on the mound and is looking to match Evan Larson for the longest start by any Blues starter this season. Larson went 6 full as Foreman sends one out to right. Ranging back is Trimble. Backpedaling and making the catch. There's one away. Evan Larson went through 6 full, not giving up a hit. And that was in the first of a 2-game set earlier this week against the Santa Barbara Foresters. Blues took a combined no-hitter into the top of the 9th with 4 Andrew Cachel ruling on the fun and had an infield single. And it would go down as a combined 1-hitter. Evan Larson went through 6 full, only giving up no hits on no runs. First pitch from Wish to Sandoval is in for strike 1. Sandoval 0 for 2 with 2 Ks against Kyle Wish. Awaits an 0-1. That one swung on and missed through for 0-2. And Wish threatens to strike him out for a 3rd time. Sandoval has struck out swinging and struck out looking. No balls and 2 strikes. Quickly dealing strike 3, as that one is indeed swung on and missed through for strike 3. It's the 3rd strikeout for Sandoval tonight. Six strikeouts now for Kyle Wish, who will deal to Austin Carrillo, who was 1 for 2 against him with a single and a fly out to right. 2 away in the top of the 6th. Wish deals ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Carrillo. We mentioned it, in 20 less at-bats than Brendan Bobo. He leads the team in average. 306. Swings and misses through that one. It's 1-1. Oaks have 3 players batting over 300. We have seen 2 in this starting 9. 1 ball and 1 strike from Wish to Carrillo. Swung on and missed through for strike 2. One ball and 2 strikes to Austin Carrillo. 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Here's that 1-2 from Wish. Fouled off to the left side and out of play. Interestingly enough, and we'll see if this is confirmed if Wish gets out of the inning, but Evan Larson, here's a 1-2 from Wish. Sent out to right center. Ranging back is Cermak. Shows off the speed and makes the catch, covering ground to retire the side. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Kyle Wish, his 2nd consecutive, and he is indeed through 6 full. So what I was going to say, Evan Larson, who prior to Kyle Wish was the only Blue starter to go through 6 full. Evan it was his 2nd start of the season. He had previously pitched out of the bullpen before coming in to start. Kyle Wish, this is his 2nd consecutive start. He goes 6 full, previously pitching out of the bullpen. Really interesting stuff. Both Blue starters that have gone 6 full, matching each other for the longest starts this season, have both also pitched in relief. Actually have pitched in relief more than they've started. It's 5-3 Blues, right at the bottom of the 6th. I'll have more fun facts for you, hopefully, when we come back. We're in the bottom of the sixth here at Sinsheimer Park. We're happy to have you along with us on the Blues Streaming Network. 5-3, Blues with the lead. And Brent Jacques is out for his second inning of work, dealing to Ryan Cermak, who sends one high and in foul ground. It's caught by Brendan Bobo. So prior to that at-bat, Cermak was 3 for 3 with 2 singles and a double, 2 RBIs to his credit as well. That gave the Blues their initial lead at 4-3. Grotto would follow and at-bat later and bring in the 5th run of this ball game to make our margin what it is now at 5-3. Cermak is popped out to third on 1 pitch. There's 1 away and no one on for AJ Esperanza, who is also brought in 2. This one on a double. That time on a double. Takes ball 1. Esperanza flew out to center on 1 pitch in his first at-bat, would follow with an 2 RBI double to right center. Jacques deals one to Esperanza, sends it high and deep, but oh, it's dropped. Well, Sulak looked like he'd have that one for the second out. Instead, it gets through his glove, and Esperanza just reached on an E4. Now Grotto, who's 2 for 3 with an RBI single, has a chance to bat with another runner on. This time it's Esperanza reaching on an E4. And just 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 6th. 5-3 Blues is our score. Grotto takes strike 1 from Jacques. It's the first time he has faced anyone other than Chris Torres today. Ended his day 2 for 3 off of Torres with 2 singles and an RBI to his credit. Bats with Esperanza on first, just reached on an error, and Jacques will deliver an 0-1 to Grotto. Taking a breaking ball that does not hit the zone, the count is even at 1-1. One out, bottom 6, 5-3 Blues. Jacques looks in. Deals a 1-1 to Grotto. Grotto hits one out to right. Center, carrying, going back, and making the catch is Foreman for bases. Instead, it's an out. It's the second one. And here comes Vince Martinez, who we'll mention. It's his birthday. Esperanza is still safe at first. Martinez is at the plate now. Bats with 1 on and 2 out. Here in the bottom of the 6th. On his birthday, he's 1 for 3 with the single. Waits the first pitch from Brent Jacques. Righty on righty. Lined out to left, but foul. And Martinez was trying to pull one beyond the fence and left. Of course, the dimensions at Sinsheimer. 333 out to left. 380 to left center, 395 to dead center, 365 more favorable for lefties to right center, and nice 320. Fence out in right. No balls and 1 strike to the catcher from Stanford. Martinez awaits an 0-1. Grounds 1 foul down the left side, in on the hands, and it's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Bottom 6. No balls, 2 strikes. To Vince Martinez. 2 away as Jacques throws over to first to check on Esperanza. AJ, who reached on a Cody Sulak error. It's 5-3. Blues with the lead. And Martinez at the plate in an 0-2 count against right-handed reliever Brent Jacques out of Oxnard. Cal State Los Angeles looks in and deals. 0-2, swung on and missed by Martinez. He'll strike out, and that'll retire the side. That does it for us through 6. 5-3 our score. And there will indeed be a new pitcher on the mound for the Blues. So Kyle Wish's day is done after 6 full innings of great pitching from Wish in his second start. Holds the Oaks to just 3 runs. They got him early off of him, and in 3 consecutive innings, the 4th, 5th, and 6th, Wish held them scoreless. In the 5th and 6th, they were 1-2-3 innings, and Wish just seemed to get better as the game went. Innings to his credit, 6 strikeouts, and the Oak Bats will now have to face the pitcher. We'll introduce it to him when we come back on the other end of this break on the Blue Streaming Network. Thanks for hanging out, making us part of your Friday evening. Welcome back. We are in the top of the 7th here at Sinsheimer Park. John Kelly on the mound, pitching in relief of Kyle Wish. Righty on righty as he'll deal. Ball 1 to Cody Sulak, the man who committed an error in the last half inning. It did not come back to bite him. It was an E4 that allowed Esperanza to reach. Our score 5-3. Blues with the lead, trying to hang on and defeat the Oaks for the 3rd time this season in 3 meetings. Sulak fouls one off to the right side. The count is 1-1. One ball and 1 strike to Cody Sulak. 1-1. Kelly bounces one outside. Ball 2. John Kelly, this is just his 2nd appearance. His last appearance came, his first appearance of the season, as he delivers strike 2, count even now against Sulak. It came in that 6-5 victory back on Independence Day in Thousand Oaks against the Conejo Oaks. He went 1 full inning, did not give up a hit, walked 1 man, struck 1 out as well. 2-2 to Sulak, swung on and missed strike 3. Strikeout to start Kelly's day, his second of the season.
Before we completely move on to John Kelly, I don't want to get the final Kyle Wish.
5-3 our score as Robert Capozzi
30 earned runs on
bats from the left side of the plate against John Kelly for the first time today. After Kyle Wish goes through 6 full, only allowing the 3 runs on 6 hits. But he was specifically good in the 4th, 5th, and 6th. Capozzi fouls one off, and Kelly gets ahead 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Kelly has gotten his 1 out. Now pitching in relief of Wish, looking to hold on and maintain a 5-3 lead for the San Luis Obispo Blues. This game 25 of the 75th anniversary season. 3rd against the Oaks this season. 2nd in Sinsheimer Park. And if you're with us for that game back on July 2nd, well, you know how fun it was. 2 balls and 1 strike to Capozzi. Manning first base today, has made some excellent defensive plays, fielding bunts, fielding ground balls. 2-1. Lifts one out to left. Burton ranging back, foul territory, makes the catch before he makes contact with the fence. And there is now 2 away on an incredibly difficult catch. Running out of bounds by Grant Burton. There's now 2 away for Caden Suji.
We've seen a few times now where Burton has been able to track the ball near that shot down the field.
Quickly 2 away for Caden Suji, the man who's been doing the catching today. 2 outs and no one on. 5-3 Blues our score. Kelly looks in and deals righty on righty. Suji 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. Way inside, and he had to get out of the way. Ball 1. Suji with the average at .231 coming into tonight. The single that was back in the 2nd. This is his 4th hit this year. Awaits a 1-0 from John Kelly. Swings and misses. Count even now at 1-1. One ball and 1 strike to Caden Suji. Kelly's gotten 2 quick outs. Looking for a 1-2-3 inning in relief of Kyle Wish. Swung on and missed. Gets ahead on Suji now. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Oaks led 3-0 through 2.5. Blues would slowly cut in and plate 2 and plate 3 more. That's our margin now. 5-3. Blues with a 2-run cushion. And after their last meeting with the Oaks, way high and over the head of Suji. Loss of command from Kelly has the count even at 2-2. But in both games against the Oaks, they've been back and forth. Blues came back in the first one to win 5-4.
I think you should. I like it. Oh, you don't want to hear that.
And back on the 4th, had a lead, relinquished it. Had another, relinquished that one, and finally would win by the score of 6-5. Softly hit to Mercado, who ranges on and plays it on several hops, but guns it effortlessly down to first to complete a 6-3 ground out and complete a 1-2-3 inning for John Kelly in the top of the 7th. Holding the Oaks scoreless again. It's 4 consecutive innings of scoreless baseball, pitched now by Wish and John Kelly. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th, sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game, and have a nice stretch. I'll be right back on the other end of this break. It's 5-3 Blues. Don't go anywhere. It's another good one here at Sinsheimer Park. Bottom half of the 7th underway as TJ Clarkson is leading it off for the Blues. He takes strike 1 from Brent Jacques. Pitching out of the pen and has pitched well in relief of the starter, Chris Torres. No balls, 1 strike. Grounded foul to the right side by Clarkson. No balls, 2 strikes. Quickly ahead on TJ. So far, Clarkson has been hit by a pitch, reached on a fielder's choice, and grounded out to second. This is his 4th plate appearance. And he'll await an 0-2 from the reliever, Brent Jacques. Check swing, and did he go around? He did not. He takes ball 1. And that's what the count will be, 1-2. No outs as we are underway in the bottom of the 7th. 5-3 Blues, still our score. It's been that way since the bottom of the 4th. Through 4, that was our score. Both teams scoreless in the 5th and 6th. We head to the 7th now. 1-2 to TJ. Grounded foul to the right side for a 3rd time. Count still 1-2. No outs, bottom 7, 5-3 our score. One ball, 2 strikes. TJ Clarkson awaits the 5th pitch of this at-bat from Brent Jacques. We are underway. Bottom 7, 5-3. Righty on lefty. Clarkson without a base hit today. Here's a 1-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. He is sat down on 5 pitches. This time via the K. Second strikeout for Jacques. And that'll bring Justin Trimble to the plate. Of course, the hero from last night. Walk-off, 2 RBI double. Giving these fans another incredible moment. Coming from behind in victory. Every game now for the Blues, so key in terms of the fact that they're only playing teams from the CCL South. And, of course, in first place right now, Trimble takes ball 1 outside, but still going to be jockeying for position. And if you're going to drop a game to a team that's in 4th place right now, like the Conejo Oaks, well, that could come back to bite you. You're going to play this team 3-4 more times this season. You want to continue your dominance over the teams that are beneath you. They've won 2 outings against them so far, both by 1 run. They're up 2 right now, and this one far from over. Trimble swings and misses through a fastball to get the count back to even. 1 ball and 1 strike. No one on and 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 7th here at Sinsheimer Park. It was the hottest it's been in a while. 88 degrees at first pitch. And this crowd was still out in full effect. In the first game against the Oaks this season, that was here. 1-1 is hit foul to the left side against the netting. It's now 1-2. The first game against the Oaks here at Sinsheimer Park, it was the day before July 3rd, and July 3rd was the biggest crowd we've had all season. On July 2nd, the game against the Oaks, we had 1,300 people here. On July 3rd, we had 1,800 people here. And it was interesting talking to GM and owner Adam Stowe on the broadcast yesterday and asking him, what's the biggest crowd you've had on hand? Here's a 1-2. Swung on and missed by Trimble. Dug out of the dirt and thrown on to first. Completes the strikeout. There's now 2 away for Austin Kretschmar. 2 strikeouts for Jacques in the inning. Have 2 away and no one on for Austin. But Adam kind of chuckled and said we had 2,200 people here. And I said, wow, that's incredible. He said, no, it sucked. There was nowhere for people to move. A lot of people just comfortably standing, and everyone was squished together. He goes, we cap it now at 2,000 people. And it's still incredible to see this place filled with half that many on nights like these. It's Friday evening. People come out in bunches to watch the SLO Blues. Kretschmar shows bunt and pulls away, takes ball 1. It's a great atmosphere, unlike anything in the CCL South. And we're happy to have you along with us, whether you join us in person or you join us here. 1 ball, no strikes to Austin Kretschmar. 5-3 our score. Blues lead. Good pitching since the fourth from both sides. Here's a 1-0. Kretschmar lines one to left. Down the line, and it'll drop. Austin will round first and head into second. It is indeed a stand-up double for Austin Kretschmar. Good piece of hitting by Austin Kretschmar. And for him, that's his first extra base hit as a Blue. His first double of the season. Finds himself safe with his Stanford teammate Grant Burton, batting for the third consecutive time with him on base. So for the third consecutive at-bat, Grant Burton will have a chance to bring in his teammate. At Stanford, there's 2 away, and a man on second for the Blues. In the bottom of the 7th, they lead by 2. Jacques will check second and deliver the first pitch to Grant Burton. Burton swings and misses through that one for strike 1. Burton today has popped out to short, walked and struck out without a base hit. We mentioned that he only has 2. Both are homers. Kretschmar just got himself his first extra base hit as a Blue. Double down the left field line. That's where he is now. Safe at second, and Jacques pitching in relief for the third consecutive inning. Will try to hold the Blues scoreless for a third consecutive inning and give the Oaks a chance. Down 2 when the top of the 8th comes around. But we're not done with the bottom of the 7th. Quick meeting between Suji and Jacques. They'll discuss what to throw. In a 0-1 count to Grant Burton. How to attack this big Stanford bat that when he makes contact, it goes a long way. One of several Blues with 2 homers, along with Grotto, Shell, Cermak, Esperanza. 0-1. Taking a good pitch inside for strike 2. And on the hands, and nothing Burton could do with that one. He's in the hole 0-2. There's 2 outs and a man on second. Blues lead 5-3. Another close one down the stretch here at home, but the Blues this time leading, hoping to avoid and keep the Oaks from coming back and returning the favor of the previous 2 meetings between these 2 teams. Here's an 0-2. Swung on and missed strike 3. Burton sat down on strikes for the second time tonight, and it is indeed a 1-2. Or he'll pitch around the double. Excuse me. Brent Jacques will hold the Blues scoreless for a third consecutive inning, and we'll work our way to the top of the 8th now. Our score still 5-3. Oaks bat's going to come up and have a chance to change that. While we have a moment, I want to thank one of our many generous sponsors of the San Luis Obispo Blues. We want to thank Injectors Direct, who personally sponsor When the Blues Score, You Score. It's a fan favorite. It's everyone's favorite. When the Blues score. And for the rest of the inning, light beer and wine is only $3. We've had that in 2 innings, and the fans here are going to hope for some late innings of the Blues scoring and the fans scoring. Thank you for personally sponsoring that. Injectors Direct. Shout out to them. We're going to take a short break. I'll be right back with you for the top of the 8th here at Sinsheimer Park. Hope you're enjoying this one as much as I am. I'll be right back. Welcome back. We are in the top of the 8th. John Kelly still pitching in relief of Kyle Wish. This will be his second consecutive inning of relief, pitching to Grant Smith at the top of the Oaks order. We've got two special guests on tonight. We've had Adam Stowe for half an inning. We're going to grab assistant GM Dana Applegarth for half an inning. Dana, thanks for joining us, and welcome to the Blue Streaming Network.
Hello, I'm happy to be here.
So you are personally running the operations for the CCL All-Star Game. It's a big job, Dana. You know, it's a big role. Talk specifically about what you will be tasked with doing. The All-Star Game is what? Just 5 days away? What is going into all your work for that?
It is 5 days away, and we're ready. It actually took probably about 8 months of preparation with a great committee helping me out, figuring out the format of the game to how we were going to make roster selections. And right now we're really just focusing on the operations side. So everything on the fan side of the net. So staffing, all that stuff.
So what exactly goes into the way that players are selected for the All-Star Game? Is it going to be coaches saying, this is who I'd like to send? How is the All-Star selection process working? Do you know how it's working?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So out of our committee, the showcase committee, we created a subcommittee, and they are the criteria selection. So they reached out to all the coaches, received no less than 4 and no more than 10 nominations.
Wow, okay.
And from there, they went through everyone's stats and picked the people that they felt really met this showcase standards.
Okay, and this is your second season with the Blues.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about your experience specifically here in SLO. What's it been like? What have you learned in your second year? Crazy to think we're already in the second half of the season. It's just flying by. But what have you taken from your first year into your second year as a walk to Smith is issued and he'll take first base?
Well, this is my first year in this position. I've been here 2 years, but I have learned a lot.
What was your first position?
I worked as a director of VIP, so I helped with special events and the special sponsor groups coming in. But now in my new role, it's great. I've learned a lot, a lot. But a lot of just figuring things out, and that's the best way to do it.
So how did this opportunity and responsibility with the All-Star Game, how did that come about?
So our league has really decided we want to stand out, right? And one way to do that is dividing and delegating the work. So they created a handful of different committees, such as marketing, golf tournaments, fundraising. And the showcase was one of those, and it was All-Star when I started, but we decided to call it Showcase this year.
Okay.
But it was, no one was really interested in taking it on, and as someone who was just finding my feet, I was like, hey, why not dive in head first? And it's been wonderful to work with everyone in our league. A great experience.
And how long, so it's 5 days away. How long have you necessarily been gearing up for it? How long has the process taken? Basically, when this season came around, when did you start planning things for the showcase?
Probably in September of last year.
Wow.
We had our first committee meeting and just saying, hey, what do we need to focus on? And this was entirely new to me. As I mentioned, this is my first year in this position, and I didn't attend the All-Star Game the previous years. So I was going into this entirely blind, and so they had a lot to teach me.
I'm sure you're a fast learner. It's really exciting to hear. I know when I heard that, I was like, I was just made of questions when I heard that you were in that position. But also just with your role here at the Blues, you interview the interns before they are hired, and you're a big part of the process for hiring what has turned into our amazing intern group and game day staff. So is there something specifically you're looking for in an intern when you hire one? Does it change with certain roles? What are you looking for when you're tasked with hiring an individual to work for the Blues?
Absolutely. So when I am speaking with interns, I want to understand how personable they are. I might make a few lame jokes or something
As
along
one
those lines.
does.
Exactly, naturally, as everyone should.
Mhm.
But just seeing how personable they are, and when you look at resumes, you get an idea of the type of work they've done. If it's dirty work, or if it's things where it's manual labor, like how hard is that person willing to work? And this job isn't easy. Different areas do require different things, but at the end of the day, we have a lot of games.
Mhm.
You have to work hard,
Yeah.
and if you're willing to put in that time, you'll get a lot out of it.
So in terms of intangibles, does it change based on the position, or is there, well, you said personable people, is that part of the culture that you and Adam discussed that you're trying to establish? Adam's been here for some more time, but when you stepped in to assist him in the GM role, as a 4-pitch walk is issued to Brendan Bobo, he'll be safe at first. Back-to-back walks of Smith and Bobo have been on first and second. What did you and Adam discuss when you guys were both saying these are the type of people we want to hire? Were you guys both on the same page in terms of looking for personable people? What were those conversations like?
He actually sat me down and said, "Hey, my name doesn't need to be on this paper. It doesn't
Wow.
need to do this. This is all on you. Like, let me know if you have questions." And I've done the hiring process before in previous jobs, and so I felt totally comfortable doing that. And as you said, the intangibles, you get an idea of how willing and how bought in people are from conversations. But as far as tangibles, that does change position. So, preferably I would like to have someone who's been experienced in customer service or bartending in some way, working at beer or tickets, something like that.
Absolutely. Now, did you understand basically what came with working for the Blues in terms of you're exposed to crowds like this? There's a good product out there on the field. As there is a pitching change, Zach McCleve is in for John Kelly, who issued back-to-back walks. Did you know what you were getting into with the Blues? Was this a position or an organization that you seeked out? Or how did the opportunity of working for the Blues in the first place come about?
Yeah. So I did feel comfortable. This is the industry I want to work in. I started out in graduate school. I ran the ice rink, and so I worked with the varsity team, the club teams, bringing in those crowds, bringing in that staff. And so I was looking for a lot of the same things. And so being here was really just a level up from that. I know there's what we need for how to prepare for promotional games and for operations. And so I really did seek it out, and it was a great opportunity.
Absolutely. And I can tell you that, and I've been saying this to Adam, I kind of go home every night. I just think, how lucky I am to be part of a group of interns in an organization like this, that I could tell just the first couple home games we were working, how hands-on you were. And you understood what you wanted from each of us, and you did such a good job of relaying that information to us. And even before we met, the communication that you kept in and discussing what was going to be required, when it was going to happen, it was very helpful to someone who, I had never met anyone in person, before coming to this, and then meet everyone at stadium, move in, and it's a group of people that came together really close on the fly. I guess my next question would be, with all that, with all the positive stuff and having to work with each of us, what would you say is the most difficult part of your job? And obviously there's so many games, there's so many people you have to deal with. At the plate now and hitting one to Clarkson, he'll play on to second. Mercado will have the force out there. It was Durfee who grounded out. What would you say is the most difficult part of your job day to day?
Well, first off, thank you for your kind words.
Oh, of course.
I appreciate it. But I think the most difficult part is sitting back and enjoying all the work that we've put in.
Really? Okay.
I might come up to the press box, sit down for about 5 minutes. I start looking around and I'm like, oh, what do I need to do? Who needs help? And just really appreciating, how far we've made it over the past couple months preparing for this, and how making sure that all the staff feels prepared and feels comfortable. We don't want to leave anyone hanging. So I think that might be one of the most difficult parts, is just sitting down and taking a minute to appreciate it all.
So I hear you say that, and I think, I see that because for a couple innings I'm like, is Dana in here? I want to sit down and ask you some questions. And as soon as I turn around and look for you, you're not there. I see you running out on the field, helping clean up with the tennis ball. So you are constantly on the move as a single is sent into right. That'll bring in a run. It's now 5-4. It's now a 1-run lead for the Blues. You are on the move to the point where, I get to sit here for 3.5 hours and I'm lucky enough to be able to observe kind of all the chaos.
Mm-hmm.
But you and everyone else are in it.
Yeah.
And is there a certain rush that you get kind of moving from space to space? And it's obviously mentally taxing because you have so much on your mind and so much to keep track of. But is there a part of you that kind of loves being a part of? It's like a beautiful chaos, kind of having to maneuver through all this. Is there a part of you that just loves it?
Oh, absolutely. I would not be here if I did not enjoy the stress and anxiety that comes with this job. I think Adam and I are here for the same reasons. We want to see people enjoying. We want to observe and relax and sit down. But it takes, we have to be on the move. We have to be on our feet to make sure that everything is going how we want it to be. And so, yes, we love that. That's why we're here. And it's a great environment to do so.
It is. When you say you want to work in sports, right?
Yeah.
So what specifically, ideally, where does Dana want to end up, and where is your ideal job in sports? Is there a particular sport that you're fond of that you'd like to work in, and maybe a position that you would like to take on in the future?
Yeah, I've thought a lot about this, and I still don't know. I love being in the operations side of things. I love working with such a variety of different people, and I love working with people, whether it's staff or patrons or whoever it is. I want to be involved with people. I don't want to be sitting at a desk. I will pull my hair out if I sit at a desk. But no, I want to be with people. I want to be in that fast-paced environment and operations, and whatever that looks like. I think my initial dream getting out of grad school was to make it to, like the Shark Tank. And work in, professional hockey, especially at a stadium where it changes from hockey to basketball to concerts.
Oh my, isn't that incredible how they do that?
I love it.
Yeah.
It's so cool. And that gives you such a, so many operations, so many things to work on, and so many events to plan.
It is. That's a great point. I was just curious. I love talking to people that say they want to work in sports. And my next question is, well, what exactly? That's fouled off. Count is 2-2. There's 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Our score is now 5-4. This is one I just thought of. If you could work any of our positions, interns that work in game day operations, what would you want to work?
Today I worked at marketing and I worked at beer.
Okay.
And both are so fun.
Yes. I've heard.
Maybe one day I'll come up and I'll take over broadcasting so you can go. I'd probably do beer just because people, they just, that's one of the easiest customers. You're not getting people who are complaining. You're getting people who are.
If they are, they haven't had any beer.
Exactly. And you say, let's fix this, drink this here.
Exactly.
So, but marketing is also fun. You get hang out and chat with people, make sure they're having a good time, point them in the right direction, and make sure they feel comfortable.
And I think we've done a pretty good job of that. I asked Adam this question. I want your answer to it. If a fan is going to come up to you and give you, here's a 2-2 fouled off. If a fan is going to come up to you and give a compliment about something that occurred during the game with their experience, what would you sit back and say, that's what I want to hear from everyone? That's the experience I want everyone to have that comes to a game. What would you want to hear?
I would want to hear that staff treated them well, that they had an outstanding experience, or that they had just enjoyed the game as a whole. We want people to come, relax, get away from whatever life is bringing them. So.
Yeah. I think we do a good job of that. I think we succeed in that.
What have you observed? You're up here, like you said, you just kind of get to watch. And what's the craziest thing you've seen from up here?
Well, the craziest, I'm so focused on the game, but in between innings, it's the way these kids react to foul balls. It's one kid will have it in his hand and they still swarm to him thinking that if he drops it, it's going to be theirs. So for me, it's the interaction that we give kids who, if I'm their age, my brother played sports. He's 12 years older than me. I didn't understand what was going on. That's a walk. Bases will be loaded for Austin Carrillo. So giving these little kids that come with their parents, for me, I'm amazed at what we're able to do with them. Footloose frenzy, seeing them try and throw tennis balls over the netting. What we do with kids, to me, has stuck out the most because, of course, this is a friendly environment, but they might not be focused on the game as some other people might be. So what we do with kids has specifically stuck out to me and left an impression on me. Swung on and missed. It's actually Cody Sulak at the plate now with the bases loaded. 5-4 our score. Blues still lead. But Adam told me something.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Okay. Dana had to depart. That's sent out to right. Drifting back is Trimble. It will drop. It's a base hit. And 2 runs have scored. Coming in now. He'll be safe. Blues have surrendered the lead. We will get this all sorted out. Dana had to depart. And that is the biggest hit of the Oaks season. It is a bases clearing double for Cody Sulak. Our score is now 7-5. Oaks with the lead. 4 runs have scored in this top of the 8th. Special thanks to assistant GM Dana Applegarth for joining us. Unfortunately, it came in a situation in which the Blues relinquished the lead. 4 runs have scored off of now Zach McCleve, who has been inserted for John Kelly, pitching in relief. 7-5 the score. Oaks with the lead. Runner on second is Cody Sulak, who just hit a bases clearing double. That one is swung on and missed. The count is even at 1-1. So the Blues trail for the first time since the first inning. Trailed 1-0, trailed 3-0. Largest deficit has been 3, and now it is at 2. 7-5 our score. 4 runs have scored here in the top of the 8th. Bases clearing. 3 RBI double by Sulak, the one that really hurt. Clarkson grounds, takes a ground ball, throws on to McCleve, who was covering first, but not before the Oaks. Plate 4 in the top of the 8th. I'll recap it all for you. I know we were talking to Dana. We were in and out of the action. I'll be right back after a short break. Blues bats will be up. But all you need to know, unfortunately, is that now our score is 7-5, and the Conejo Oaks have taken the lead on a bases clearing RBI double by Cody Sulak. And we'll be right back after this break. We'll clear it all up for you and recap it in just a moment. Welcome back. We are in the bottom of the 8th. The tides have turned, and we have shifted now to a 2-run deficit for the Blues. Our score 7-5. Oaks with the lead. Here's how that top of the 8th went. It was led off by a walk of Grant Smith. That was by John Kelly. Then a pop out to third by Brendan Bobo. Then Brendan Durfee would walk. Then Kelly would sub out. Zach McLeod would be put in for him. Fielder's choice and an RBI would take place, making it 5-4. Tobias Plotkin has been put in the game. That's strike one to Mercado. Raul Sandoval then would single. Then Austin Carrillo would walk. Bases would be loaded for Cody Sulak, who would double, clear the bases, plate 3 runs, and give the Oaks what is now a 7-5 lead. We are in the bottom of the 8th now. Ruben Mercado is leading things off against Tobias Plotkin, who just delivered strike 2. 7-5 Oaks. Mercado at the plate in an 0-2 count.
Because of Brent Johnson, he pitched 3 innings of fantastic baseball, allowed just 1 hit, 1 walk, and 3 total base runners, as well as 5 strikeouts through those 3 innings. So a fantastic.
Plotkin will deliver an 0-2 to Ruben Mercado, but before that, I'll cycle through some signs. 0-2 the count to Mercado. Taken low, ball 1. Tobias Plotkin. Last time the Blues saw him, well, they were happy to see him. He only got 2 outs and gave up that 2-run go-ahead homer to AJ Esperanza. That would prove to be the final, 5-4 in that one. We're in a 7-5 ball game. The Oaks have stormed back a 4-run top of the 8th. Has them with the 2-run lead at 7-5. It's Mercado leading off the bottom of the 8th for the Blues. Here's a 1-2 from Plotkin. It's a swinging bunt in the grass. Who's going to field it? It'll be Suji throwing on to first. An amazing play that gets Ruben out.
Essentially, a swinging bunt. Both Plotkin and Suji converged on it at the same time. Suji called off Plotkin, and then Suji was able to throw on to first, and the stretch by the
So Mercado to lead off the bottom of the 8th. Grounds out to the catcher, and there's 1 away for Ryan Cermak. Blues still trail 7-5. Ryan Cermak, the man who is 3 for 4 in this one with 2 RBIs. Fouls one off to the right side. No balls and 1 strike. Plotkin, the lefty, deals to Cermak, the righty, and he'll take strike 2. So Plotkin now on the second straight hitter has gotten ahead 0-2 on the count, and that has helped with his efficiency, at least through 1 batter. No balls and 2 strikes, 1 out, bottom 8, 7-5 Oaks, the score. Here's an 0-2 to Cermak. I'll say he went around, and they'll throw on to first to complete the strikeout. Now there's 2 away. AJ Esperanza will step in. 2 RBI double is his only hit. It was a big one, though. Plated the first 2 runs for the Blues in the bottom of the 3rd. That would be followed by a 3-run bottom of the 4th. Blues have relinquished that lead after a 4-run top of the 8th. It's the second time they've given up a 4-run inning to the Oaks this season. And, well, here's Esperanza versus Plotkin. And the way this matchup went last time was Tobias Plotkin delivered a pitch to Esperanza, a 2-0 count. Esperanza sent it deep, and I mean deep, to right field, giving the Blues a 1-run lead on a 2-run homer. For Esperanza, the double back in the 3rd was his 2nd double of the year. RBIs 8 and 9 for AJ. We'll wait the first pitch from Plotkin. Esperanza sits on strike 1. No balls and one strike. AJ looks off the plate at ball one. Count is even. 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Oaks by 2. Here's a 1-1 to AJ. He's going for another homer and was foul tipped away. 1-2 is the count now. There's 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Blues have relinquished a lead. It was Zach McCleve pitching in relief. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to Esperanza. 1-2 from Plotkin. Esperanza. Weak grounder to Sulak. Throws to first, and it's a 1-2-3. Bottom of the 8th for Tobias Plotkin. We will head to the top of the 9th. Our score 7-5. Conejo Oaks with the lead. Zach McCleve will be back on the mound for the San Luis Obispo Blues, and they will have to, again, put together a rally in the bottom of the 9th. We're able to do so yesterday in amazing fashion. 7-5 our score. Oaks with the lead. You won't want to miss this 9th inning. I can tell you personally. I'll be right back. Welcome back. We are in the top of the 9th. Our score is 7-5. Oaks with the lead. McCleve just delivered strike 1 to Caden Suji, the man who's been doing the catching today. That's over the plate. Breaking ball. Dips in for strike 2. Count is 0-2 on Suji. Blues are going to have to come back in this one. It all starts with a scoreless top of the 9th being put up by Zach McCleve, the man who gave up runs in the top of the 8th. 0-2. Fouled off to the right side. Dealing with Suji for the first time tonight.
Here's a quick view of the beer stand.
Where's the beer tower? Oh.
It's very good.
0-2. Ooh, looked like a good pitch. Taken for ball 1. One ball and 2 strikes to count to Caden Suji. 7-5 our score. Here's that 1-2. Sent out to left center. Who's going to take it? Cermak or Burton? It's Cermak in left center making the catch for the first out. Back to the top of the Oaks lineup, and Grant Smith, who walked to lead off that top of the 8th, in which the Oaks would send 8 men to the plate. McCleve just delivered ball 1 to Smith. His only hit has been that single that led off this ball game. Other than that, he reached on the walk, and that really started what would end up being a 4-run top of the 8th. That one way inside and taken for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 balls and no strikes. Excuse me. Here's Grant Smith facing Zach McCleve. That's ball 3. McCleve in danger of surrendering a walk. Inside ball 4. It's a 4-pitch walk to Grant Smith to start the not start, but it's a 4-pitch walk to Grant Smith with 1 out. Top of the 9th, and for the 2nd consecutive inning, he is leading it off with a walk. It's one of the 4-pitch variety. He will be safe at first for Brendan Bobo, the man who has doubled and walked. Excuse me, just doubled. McCleve deals to Bobo. There's strike 1. McCleve, hometown of Salt Lake City, 6'5" junior, also at the University of Utah. This is his 9th appearance. He has been used. The ERA at 1.35. 2 wins to his credit. That walk was walk number 5 he's given up. The ERA at 1.35. Three of the runs in the top of the 8th were earned by Zach McCleve. He'll deliver an 0-2 as he's ahead on Brendan Bobo. Outside part of the plate, trying to induce a swing and miss, and not successful. Instead, it's ball 1. Man on first is Grant Smith. He just walked. 1-2 is the count now to Brendan Bobo. And all our eyes right now are going from the field to the left side of these orange seats at Sinsheimer Park, where there is, what do we call that, a beer tower? Fouled off. Excuse me, that's in fair ground. Grounded by Grotto. Whoa! Throw across the diamond in time to get Bobo. Mason Grotto guns from third to first for the 2nd out. What do we call that, Max? A beer tower? Beer snake. Whatever it is, it's impressive. It's all the beer cups that have been collected and put together. First time I saw that was on SportsCenter. They were showing it in Wrigley Field. It's impressive. It takes coordination between these fans. Beer snake, beer tower. It's a bunch of beer cups. That's all we know. Is it a pinch hitter? Looks like it. Number 18, I think.
Pinch hitter, Jim, number 18. Yeah.
Scott Radinsky is pinch hitting for Brendan Durfee.
That's about a quarter of the snake he's at. So if you see here, it starts all the way down.
That's a massive tower of beer cups.
It goes all the way up to the
Wow.
row. We just saw the guy in the Ken Griffey jersey. He brought some more over. Now reverse fanny pack brings some more over. So we're just continuing.
The Oaks announcers are doing a great job of detailing this beer tower. I'm just in awe of it. I might have to move the camera over there. Okay, McCleve is going to deal with 2 outs and a runner on second to Scott Radinsky, who's pinch hitting in the place of Brendan Durfee, who has 2 RBIs and a walk to his credit, but he's being pinch hit for.
They have to go and see the business themselves. They're amazed They're well, and they got their fill. Now they're heading back.
All the fans are focused on the beer tower too. It's like there's not even a ball game going on. 7-5 our score. McCleve is finally ready to deal to Scott Radinsky. Runner on second is Grant Smith. There's 2 away in the top of the ninth, and it's still 7-5 Oaks. That's ball 1.
It's a BYO beer snack.
As we enter the 3rd hour of this broadcast, Blues and Oaks for the 3rd time this year. And the Blues are going to have to come back for a 3rd time this year against the Conejo Oaks. It's a key game. Blues will be on the road in Thousand Oaks tomorrow. So this is the first of a 2-game set, home and road for the Blues. Then on Sunday, we'll be in Santa Barbara. And then there's an all-star break. The showcase will take place. Of course, assistant GM Dana Applegarth, who was nice enough to sit down with us in the top of the 8th at strike 1 and discuss her role in the showcase and coordinating how it works, how our all-stars are selected. We talked to Dana about what she wants to do and why and how and all sorts of good stuff. Love talking to the people that put us in our positions here with the Blues. 2 balls and 1 strike. Did he go around? Sure did. Count even at 2-2. Still 2 outs, top 9, 7-5 Oaks our score. It all starts, a rally with putting up a scoreless top of the 9th. And if the fans can get excited about that beer tower, they can get excited about the Blues coming back even more. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Line to Mercado, gets by him into left center, and this will be another run. It'll be 8-5, but he's out. Out at second is Radinsky. That does it for the top of the 9th. They don't hold them scoreless. They'll have to come back from a 3-run deficit. It is 8-5.
Hit, yeah.
That's a hit. Yeah. Hit into left center and an RBI single for Scott Radinsky. Okay, I'll try and show the beer snake. Yeah, they are. Okay, here we go. I wish I could zoom in. I can't zoom in. Yeah. Dang camera.
Yeah.
It's a shame. Yeah, there's no chance. I'm sorry. You can take my word for it. It's impressive. Oh, you can't have kids. There are children helping build the beer snake. Oh, I love my job. I'm going to take a short break and be right back with you for the bottom of the 9th on the Blue Streaming Network. No problem, Noel. I'll be right back. Shell is pinch hitting for Martinez. Rickerman delivers ball 2. Eight to 5, Oaks with the lead. Grotto foul tips a pitch away. It's 2-1. No out, spot him 9. Blues are going to have to pull off something miraculous. They were able to do so last night, trailing by 1 in the bottom of the 9th against the Riptide. And this is... Grotto grounds one on a hop to Smith. He'll gun to first, and that's the first out. Austin Shell is pinch hitting for Vince Martinez. Martinez finishes his birthday outing with a 1-for-4 outing, a single and 2 strikeouts. They were pitching to him pretty aggressively. Here is Austin Shell now pinch hitting in the DH spot. Blues down 8-5. There will be pictures of this beer snake all over Blues social media pages. If there's not, you guys can complain about it. 8-5 our score. Shell is pinch hitting in the place of Vince Martinez against Rickerman, Oaks closer. Looked like a good pitch, taken for ball 1. One ball and no strikes. The count to Austin Shell. Blues unfortunately unraveled in the top of the 8th and in the top of the 9th, allowing 5 runs to score. They led 5-3 comfortably. This one not over, obviously. But the Oaks returning the favor so far. Here's a 1-0. Shell swings and misses. Count even at 1-1. One ball and 1 strike. One out as Grotto grounded out to short. Taken for strike 2. One ball and 2 strikes to Austin Shell. He did not go around. Count even at 2-2. There's some Oaks fans here. They traveled up from Thousand Oaks. We will be there tomorrow, and then in Santa Barbara on Sunday, and then a nice little all-star break. Excited to see what Blues make the showcase. And we'll play in that game. Operations all done by our assistant GM. Killed out to left, but foul. Dana Applegarth, who will head those operations of the showcase. Our score is 8-5. There's 1 out, and 2-2 is the count to Austin Shell. He gave that one a ride, but not on the right side of the foul pole. Base is empty for Shell. 2-2 the count with 1 on. And Rickerman will deal. That one is hit to Smith again, who'll gun to first again for the second out. Back-to-back 6-3 groundouts have the Blues down to their final out. And it'll be TJ Clarkson, the man tasked with keeping the game going.
You got Samuelson on deck. Samuelson's on deck if he gets up.
8-5. Rickerman will have to deal with the lefty, TJ Clarkson, to end this ball game. Swung on and missed for strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. Half-hearted swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes. Blues down to their final strike. It's been a roller coaster of a homestand. They one-hit the Foresters on Tuesday. Were almost shut out on Wednesday. Had a walk-off on Thursday. And in danger of falling to a team they haven't lost to all season on Friday. That one is fouled off and over the press box. No balls and 2 strikes to TJ Clarkson. Blues down to their final strike, down to their final out. Oaks looking to beat the Blues for the first time this season. Here's the 0-2 from Rickerman. Popped up. Infield will have a look, but it'll drift out of play. And it's a nice little souvenir. Blues relinquishing the lead in the top of the 8th. It'll go down as a 4-run top of the 8th, 3 earned by Zach McCleve, and then 1 also given up by McCleve in the top of the 9th. That's why our margin is now 8-5. Blues led 5-3. That was the last time they led. 0-2. Grounded to Sulak. He'll gun to first. That's the ball game. Oaks win 8-5, and they avenge their loss. Losses, I should say, to the Blues. Our final 8-5. Oaks pick up a win. They advance to 11-7. They've won back-to-back games. Blues have split 4 games at home, 2-2, defeating the Foresters and Riptide, falling to the Foresters and Oaks. We will be back with the Blues and Oaks for the 4th time this season. Live in Thousand Oaks from California Lutheran University. We will be there for that one. Blues and Oaks for the 4th time tomorrow. This is the first of a home and away. And then stay tuned for Sunday's ball game against the Foresters in Santa Barbara. We will have that one for you as well on the Blue Streaming Network, as we do for every ball game. I'll be there in attendance, and then it's a nice little all-star break. And then we come back and resume action, and it'll be an official playoff push. Blues will have 90% of their games the rest of the year at home after they get these next 2 on their own out of the way. And we expect to see you guys either in attendance at Sinsheimer Park or tuning in on the Blue Streaming Network, as we are always happy to have you. Thanks so much for tuning in. I've been Zach Ibrahim here in the press box in San Luis Obispo. Hope you enjoyed that one. Tough defeat for the Blues, falling late, 8-5, the final margin. I'll be back with you tomorrow for the second game of these first 2 against the Oaks, Post-game show coming up, Blues Live. When the Blues lose, we are unable to grab a player. So what we will do for you, we'll sit down with an intern, and we'll talk about their experience and other things that go on, and talk about what it's like working for the Blues. So stay tuned for that. If you want to stick around, go grab an intern, have a little post-game show. Unfortunately in defeat, but as for the call of this one, I've been Zach Ibrahim. Thanks so much for hanging out, and go enjoy yourselves. We'll do the same. Good night, everybody. Back on the post-game show, Blues Live. Unfortunately, an 8-5 loss is the result of tonight's ball game, but that means we get to do an intern interview, okay? And we've got Brendan Fisher with us, director of merchandise.
Yeah.
How sick is that? It's fun being director, isn't it?
It is pretty nice. It's a nice title, and it's a good responsibility. I'm enjoying
You
it.
feel good about yourself.
Yeah, a little bit. It's cool.
Directors have to show up, 15 minutes earlier than everyone else?
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
Oh no, it's not bad at all.
So this is something we're going to start doing after losses. We're going to grab a Blues intern. We're going to talk to them about their experience. So that's what I'll ask you, Brendan. I'll ask you about your experience so far selling merchandise. What does your job entail, and what do you like the most about it?
Yeah. So every game I get here a couple hours ahead of time, set up my station on the third base side at the very top, and I got 4 tables set up with hats and shirts, all other kinds of items, and people come up, I help them, and sell all the stuff to all the fans.
So what did you anticipate when you found out, okay, this is what I'm going to be doing this summer? You said that you knew some people, and I'll ask you about that too, what it's like to work with kids you end up going to school with. You go to Cal Poly SLO. So as soon as you get that job, what's going through your head in terms of what you're going to have to do this summer?
I mean, right away, I was really excited. This was like the internship I was looking forward to most, and the one I heard back from first. So it was basically a no-brainer. Once I heard back from Dana, I kind of just knew right away, this is what I want to do. I've heard great things. So I was just very excited from the beginning. But I didn't know exactly what to expect going in. I've had some retail experience working before, and I knew that kind of was up this alley.
Okay.
So that was what I was comfortable with. So that's why I decided to be the merchandise director. And then coming in, I'd never been to a Blues game before, never been to the stadium. So it was all pretty new.
Yeah.
I had a couple classes with some people that worked here. So they were able to get me into the office a little early and meet some people and just kind of get familiar with everything. So that was really nice, just getting kind of acquainted and getting my feet wet before I met everyone else. And then it kind of just made me more comfortable once I got here. And everyone's been amazing that I've worked with. And it's honestly, it's one of the nicest work groups, if not the nicest people in work that I've done a job with that I've had. I mean, just, I've gotten so lucky being here. And I don't know. It's just, I'm so grateful for it. It's awesome.
I feel the same way. It's been a lot of fun. Is there a moment that sticks out to you? Because, I mean, you're in customer service. You're dealing with our fans. And that's one thing I am a little bit jealous of, is you actually get to interact with fans. I kind of just sit up here, bird's eye view, watch everyone enjoy themselves. It's always a good time.
Yeah.
So is there a moment where you kind of are going to sit back and laugh and say, that's an interaction with someone that was a lot of fun? What interactions have you had with fans so far?
Yeah.
Anything that stuck out?
Yeah. So I've most of the games, a lot of the parents of the players are here basically every time. So I've become familiar with a lot of the parents and grandparents, which is really nice. So I see them every day. Yeah. And now I make sure to say hi, and they always come up to me, which is really cool. Just meeting new people and making connections. I've made some really good connections with just people that I've met, and just everyone's been really nice. It's not like too hard for me to talk to people now, and it's just very comfortable with it. But yeah, the people that I've met, I've had no problems with. Everyone's been super friendly and understanding, especially if I'm out of something. But that's what makes the job so great, is just the people that are here. Blues fans are amazing. Very lucky that we draw such big crowds. And I'm able to sell a lot of merchandise every game because of it. And yeah, it's a great time.
I thought you were going to say whoever tips me is my favorite.
See, yeah, I mean,
but you're more dignified than that.
I guess. I don't know. I've had the tip jar just a little recently. I mean, obviously those people are amazing, and they're grateful. I mean, I'm grateful for them because they obviously don't have to tip me. They have no reason to, but it shows that I'm kind of doing something right.
I think you are. I kind of, aside from when I've come down and bought merch, I come down and I'm not going to buy everything at once because I want to come back next day. I want to see how you're doing.
Yeah. I love seeing you.
Always, buddy. Last question for you. We have a tradition here with the Blues. We call it pregame knucks.
Yeah.
Right. What do and we'll show them what it is. It's literally just this. We just knuckles before the game. What do pregame knucks mean to you?
It's honestly really cool. So Colin, who's one of our promotional interns, started it.
Yep.
And it's honestly, I think it's made us a lot closer because it makes you familiar with everyone. Yeah. Colin goes around before the game starts, about 5 minutes before gates open, gives everyone his knuckles, kind kind of gets everyone ready for the day. It just signifies, all right, gates are about to open. Let's have a good day. I mean, yeah, that's about it. It's a good time.
It is. It definitely loosens me up.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I didn't even
Yeah.
know Colin that well, and I remember he was like waiting, and I'm like, what do I do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
No, but it's become it's become a tradition.
Yeah, and I've even caught myself coming up here and saying hi to you guys before you start your game, and good luck, and giving you knuckles. Yeah, it's a good time. I like it. It's a cool tradition.
It is. Brendan Fisher, Director of Merchandise, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Last night was pretty fun, huh?
Oh yeah, that was a good time.
That was a good time.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Sure. Thanks for hanging out. The Blue
Yeah.
Streaming Network, another intern interview, this time with Brendan Fisher, Director of Merchandise. We're going to do this, unfortunately, after the Blues lost, but then we get to talk to Brendan. It kind of evens out. We'll be back on tomorrow's ball game against the Oaks, game 2 of a 2-game set, home and road. I'll see you later, buddy.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You got it.